Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back again this afternoon, the second time around. This dance that I watch or I try to play whenever we're starting, it's just to excite all of us. I those days that we used to dance, we could have done a lot of damage with this dance. That's why sometimes when I watch it, I feel amused that the young man couldn't, instead of taking up the challenges, they are going to hold the waist. Who tells you that waist won't hold? Show us your dance step. The lady has done very well in this dance, and I feel disappointed that the young man allowed himself to be beaten to the dance. If it was those days, we will show them that the cannot be leather. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, you wouldn't even believe that. The Sharo dance. I used to dance the Sharo dance very well. The Angas dance, the Jarawa dance from Plateau State, the Thief dance, the the Bata dance, from the fisherman dance, all the normal dance steps in Nigeria that's quite popular. So we used to choreograph those things those days, and were among the group that made it very popular. Today, so when I see some of the dance steps being and some of the choreography that we introduce into the system, and people are doing it, they don't even know who started it. It makes me, it just amuses me. That's how the world is, you may be a major player today, but by tomorrow you probably not be found in the scene. That does not mean that you have not contributed a quarter. Even though, like the Igbos will say, a person who does not know a man calls him that man. So now people can refer to us as that man. But we used to be there. Kudos to them. All right. So today we're going to be looking at very serious topics, and the topic we're going to be looking at, majorly my work have been cut out for me, and I'm going to be looking at what was discussed earlier from Nnaemeka Obiaraeri, who was here with us. He spoke eloquently and honestly. If we had Nigerian men, citizens, speaking this way to the system, I'm sure that we will not be where we are. Although you can also argue that we've had men who spoke the truth and they were never able to implement what they have spoken about because that truth was not allowed to land. They were rather scuffled. They were rather harassed. They are rather imprisoned. And when the journalists decide to talk about it, later bombs are sent to them. And when the journalists insist on talking about it, they are harassed and put in dungeons. After going to the DSS dungeons, they are beaten. They are, their families are threatened. And eventually what happens? You be my guest. I will not complete it, but someday we'll tell that story. And so that's where we are with this young man who totally, as I will say, is distinguished himself in what he was able to present to us today. Of course, like I always say on this program, those are his views. Some of these things, I probably disagree a little bit because I have a more, insight, especially the group that are doing all kinds of, causing all kinds of mayhem in the southern Nigeria, eastern Nigeria. You could see that since Buhari left government, the southeast have become normal because nobody anymore to water the flowers that was causing the mayhem in the southeast. So that is a discussion for another day. But for today, we're going to narrow in on what he has said, and then we can try to justify or otherwise. For those of you who have strong views, we are waiting to hear your views. For those of you who agree, we're waiting to hear your own side of the story. If you are in the middle, you can equally bring your story. This is a place where you express your opinion or your opinion, your expression, and then at the end of the day, we will let the people who are listening to us be the judge of whatever you are presented or otherwise. My name is Internet. I'm sorry to say that it's not a bit, it is a bit not stable today, so bear with me. I'm trying to get a new internet system that will not be going off and on, especially when I'm making a very
Oga Tony, maybe you take over.
You did. Recolonization, how you did?
One name Tony. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How you doing?
Well,
Wow, this kind wahala.
yeah. I mean, not be America in there.
Is it America or UK? I don't know.
I'm in
These things
KJ.
happen.
I'm in KJ.
Yes, I think it's in the US. Yeah.
I think your sometimes the Wi-Fi over there is weak. I don't know what's happening.
These things happen. Sometimes the elements, are very, very funny. How you doing?
One name okay. Thank God. Your side, Uncle.
Anyị ekene Chukwu, my brother. Anyị ekene Chukwu.
Yeah.
We and our president here, we dey put leg for one trouser.
your your president though, he's trying to upset the Europeans. So
Not only Europeans, the whole world generally, just on him
Europeans,
everything. If it's on, nobody is telling him,
exactly.
no
You
go
know,
forward, no go back.
he's my a good friend, but where I was this afternoon, I had some round table with my German friends, and they really bombarded me with they were so angry with me. I surrendered. I said, okay, This Greenland something is for me. I don't know. I don't. It's not acceptable at all. You should take it easy.
It's not only with Europe, even within us here, we do fight them, So I don't understand. I think suddenly the world has just become a unipolar world where just one person go they
Yeah.
dictate what happens in the world, and every other person is looking.
I
They
mean,
just talk.
just talk, and that's why sometimes, like yesterday, I don't know whether you were on this platform yesterday, when people always come and blame, put our problem on foreigners.
Oh, KJ is back.
Oh, KJ is back.
KJ, what happened to you?
KJ,
you you are too critical of Wike and this thing, so they won't show you pepper.
KJ, they want to paper. They don't attack you, not attack, not spiritual attack. It's not even step. Look at this. It's already hanging too.
Yeah. Oh, it's still. I thought it came on.
It came on, but it's hanging.
It's frozen again. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, wow. KJ, what thing happened to you?
I think in America, you guys live in a very big house, so sometimes the router is far away from you guys.
Yeah.
When I visit America, you see the router very far away from my room, So I find it difficult to connect until I come out and go very close to the router.
Yes,
that's the problem.
It happens to me too. But meanwhile, while we're waiting for KJ, you listen to the guests. Yes, in the first session. What are your impressions?
Yeah, this young man, honestly, I've been following him for a very long time, even when he was frequently coming up on channel television, Arise Television. All of a sudden they stopped inviting him. In fact, that was I wanted to ask him the question, but it's escaped my memory, because for a very long time now he has not been, featuring on those, channels. I wanted to ask him what happened, because he's a critic, and Nigerians, they don't want such people to appear on their television. Sometimes they get even fined, just like Catch on Onujuna. If you watch out, Catch on Onujuna for a very long time now, it's not appearing on all these legacy media platforms. If you are very attentive, I don't know if you follow them.
Yes.
If you follow Arise Television channels, Catch on Onujuna is no more featuring their off, because I believe that they sanction those ones. So this young man that appeared today is a very brilliant young man. I concur with what he said. I don't have any objection what he said, because if you look at now what is happening in Nigeria, the problem we have in Nigeria is leadership, not foreign, not new colonialist, imperialist.
Okay.
Jide is going to be angry with you for that.
Okay.
That's my problem with him.
Okay,
can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? All right, thank you so much. Tony, just remember that if this happens again and I go off, just go ahead with the discussion, and I'll have to come back. My wife was advising that I get another internet service apart from this one I'm using from the house. So I think I now have to take advice seriously. I didn't want to spend that $35 now, but I have to spend it. So I don't understand what's even going on. Why it's disconnecting? Maybe it is just like people have said on their comments. Anyway, let's go ahead. Tony, you're welcome. What's your take on what we discussed so far with Dr. Nnaemeka? What's your take from it?
Well, I listened to him. For me, he said quite a lot of things that were insightful. There are a lot of things that he said that I can relate to, that I think are really germane. But there were a few other things that were controversial. So it depends on what position and what side you belong to. Um, with specific reference to Nigeria and in trying to explain some of the reasons why we are where we are today. I think I agree with him that if you look at the way we started in the 60s, all the projections, all the indices show that Nigeria was more progressive than it is now. If you look at it, we have retrogressed. Um, we have not been strategic in planning. We have not been visionary. Perhaps it's a leadership problem, but I think there's also the followership problem, where we have the followership have not been um, they've been more like docile, not the way we see in some other countries where people come out and take their destiny in their hands and even stay there even when they are being killed, and they remain there and until something else happens. I think
I miss that guy, yo. Yeah.
yeah, I know you would have asked him a lot of questions, but it's okay. But I think generally, if you ask me to rate him, I think he spoke well. I think there's a lot to learn, and that if Nigeria needs to move forward, this way we are going is not it at all. We really need to rejig. We really need to. Yeah, and one thing that I like that he said is that we do have the intellect. We have men and women who can able to chart a way forward for Nigeria. But the problem is maybe the system doesn't allow them. Um, and from the thing that he said, he seemed to suggest that yes, there is the will by some people to do great things for Nigeria, but the system itself sort of emasculates the people and does not give them the latitude enough to be able to intervene in a way that will move the country forward. So let me just stop there. And
Oh,
that's what I
thank
think.
you, Tony, for your initial comment. Yes, Mazi Okpara, on this channel, I've said earlier that government in Nigeria know what to do. If I was in government in Nigeria, I would have turned the whole of this, the middle belt into an agricultural, and he has even come to prove the fact that this thing is practicable. He's doing it live and direct, even till today. Do you think it's something that people in diaspora should encourage? People like you who have big pockets, can you agree to partner with him to start such a thing for your community, employing young men that are there?
Yeah, thank you, KJ, and thank you, my fellow bro, Breeden. In the Bible, we're called Breeden. Dr. Nnaemeka has been an inspiration. Honestly, I've been following this young man for a very long time on channels, all the whole Nigerian televisions, X, everywhere. His podcast, he's a very fantastic young man. His ideas are wonderful, but unfortunately, he lives in a country that does not encourage potentials, that does not encourage people who are knowledgeable, who know what they want and how they're going to, execute what they have. That's the problem you have in Nigeria. Let me tell you briefly. A few years ago, about 2014, myself and my brother, my cousin who lives in the UK, we borrowed money, very huge money, and we did a little company, factory in the village, not now, where or something. No, we said, okay, let us do it for the villagers. We created, borrowed money with little one we had. In fact, it was a bakery, but my mechanized bakery. We didn't want to do it in the township. We said, let us, so that at least we can give for at least 20 people job. That was when Jonathan was in the, then. We built this bakery, mechanized it. There was a factory, a bakery that went bankruptcy in England. We bought all the whole equipment, used, ship it to Nigeria, to my village, build this thing, install everything. We, even the generator was a 250 kV generator. Imagine that. We started this thing was running very well. Then the floor was about 10,000 naira a bag. And then we had some contract with a company in Calabar that supplies us. The more quantity we buy or we bought, the less we pay for a bag. Sugar was very, very cheap. The diesel, we buy 350 naira a liter of diesel to generate this, to power this bakery. What happened after General Buhari took office? The thing started crumbling. We started laying off some. We started with 20 workers. We laid off 10. As we speak, in a nutshell, the company, the bakery is down. We closed it. 10 people in the village unemployed. As we speak, all the home machineries are there because we couldn't cope again. Look, how much is a bag of flour now? How much is a bag of sugar and other condiments? So what kills businesses in Nigeria is this inconsistency, this policy, this try and error. This they have no idea how to run a country. That's what kills people. And I believe that some of us who are here, we have experienced such problems in Nigeria, one or two. So honestly, for me now, to invest in Nigeria is difficult for me. I have tried my best, and I failed woefully. So I don't think, for me, I think I have my own reservation, putting money in Nigeria. I don't, for me, I can't try it anymore. Even the age is not even on my side anyway. So Nnaemeka is a good person. He knows what he's talking about, and he's on the ground anyway. And the kind of business he's talking about, I think it doesn't need a lot of energy, because if I want to invest in Nigeria and you depend on this energy, I think you are going to run down. But he's a good guy. I believe what he said. Mostly when he blamed the leadership in Nigeria, not foreigners. That's where I said thank you. Because some people who come here, they will blame America, they will blame England, they will blame our 65 years we are independence, and yet we cannot afford even ordinary electricity. That is our problem. Leadership is the problem we have in Nigeria, not America, not neo-colonialists, not neo-imperialists. We are the problem to ourselves. Until we accept this fact that we are problem to ourselves, we are going nowhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I agree with you. And I totally agree with you. If you have, they say a person when a snake bite, or if you see lizard, turn to crocodile. So I agree with you totally. Listen, the truth is this. Just talking to him today, I remember my great grandfather. He had a plantation. He had a palm tree plantation that was over 500 at the time. He's still standing to today. My great I didn't meet him. I didn't meet my grandfather. Okay, I only know my father. So imagine what they had is still there, standing to date in behind our house in the village. Okay, they had cashew plantation as a family. It's still standing. People are still benefiting from it till today. Those of my relatives in the community. So you find out that these things, this culture have been lost. Today, I'm just being reminded, what are you going to leave for your children? Look at what these people left. I'm not even having any plantain, or I don't have nothing. My father even has a plantation that he left there. I don't have any. So I think it's time for us to change our mindset. Why is it if his network trying to misbehave now that I'm coming to her?
Now me first call. Now my turn. No.
Okay. All right, go ahead there, Revolution. So let's go ahead.
You see, KJ and brothers and sisters. Let me tell you now one thing. You see that bros wake up. Is this? You know, say we have a problem in Nigeria. When we they mention that problem too now, sometimes when I go think say Rasta people don't come. This guy look at me, he no go school. What does he know? No problem. We go there, but we go there remind you now the Nigerian problem. You see, when people they talk, you can talk the whole thing where they this world, read the whole Bible where they this world. Tell us what everybody know. What that brother they talk today, who don't know about him, say it happen for Nigeria. Now today starts. Me, I'm tired of this talking where would they talk for Nigeria. You understand? Mazi Opara says something. Now, if I talk my own now, I go to say a liar, they lie. The thing will remain for Nigeria na solution. All this reminding us, all this reminding us, I lost this business, I do this, election next year, defend your vote, do this. When we know all those things na rubbish, it go come, it go pass, we go continue to argue. This 2026, make we change our direction. I don't want anybody to keep reminding us our problem in Nigeria. Oh, leadership, blah, blah, blah. Well, we know. What are we doing to do something, make this arguments, complainants, everything where would they do? That is where our energy is supposed to be focused on. We are dealing with a block, criminals, people when we say they're ready to kill, protest, go come up, they go kill people, Nigeria go, they look them. People go, they go push some people to wall, go come talk very nice. Oh, Nigerians, when you push them to the wall, people will break the wall and enter the wall. We go say not true. Nigerians are resilient. Okay. What is the combination where we go to talk, say, okay, now we agree. What thing we go do? Solutions. Me, I don't give una my own solution. No. I know say now stupid man solution. One guy say I dey joke. If we cannot do it, let us rally around and find somebody to do it for us. Our brother and our leader, Shore, he called for ordinary protest. Igbo leaders go say, no, na Yoruba man, don't come out. Don't join him. That one go question the people who get strength to talk. Our brother missed penalty that day. They attack him. Na Igbo man, Nnaemeka lose penalty. All those kind of things, now everybody begin do YouTube. Yoruba don't start again. Yeah. Let me end by telling you guys, we say, until we're ready to channel our complaint and energy to solution where go save Nigeria. And we should stop reminding ourselves our woes. Now I want to tell you now, so, Daluno, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I hear you. And your contribution is not, don't say your contribution, it makes sense. And like we say in this program, it is your idea, it's your own, you own it. Nobody can take it from you. If it wasn't important, God will make you. You are here for a purpose. So that's how anybody who is reasonable. I'll give you an example before I move to the next person. When I was doing my final year in theater arts directing, we had a certain professor who came from Jaws. His name is Professor Emma. Professor Emma was a designer. He was design and theater, design and stage designing. And he came and he was taking us on our final exam. And when we finished doing our design on the theater, and he calls the security man who wasn't even hearing English. The security man calls the man and says, "Can you interpret? Do you know what these people are trying to do?" The man said, "Yes." So what are they trying to do? He explained to the man. So later when the guy had gone, I called the prof. I said, Prof, when you go, lecturers, I didn't ask them, you want to call this man? He said, no, if the ordinary man cannot interpret what you are doing, then what you are doing is useless. because they're going to be producing and acting for the ordinary man. So if the ordinary man cannot interpret your design, of what use is that design to anybody if you need to intellectual capacity to interpret it? So what I'm simply saying is this: if in a society, how many people are those of you who live in the US? How many people have PhDs while you work? How many people have masters while you work? How many people have doctorate degrees while you work? Sometimes you don't even have people. Those who even run where I work, the guy didn't even go to university. Talk more of having a degree or second or 2 degrees. So this is this bend that have kept our country where we are, and until we move forward using the ordinary man and everybody's contribution, we're not going anywhere. That's the truth. Anyway, let's move to Ife, because Ife is here early. We'll have to let her speak. If you remember that last time you said you will speak, oh, don't begin to shake head now. Yes, you are here now. If you speak,
KJ, Machalanya room. Ogumunaga man baby.
Good evening.
My brother CM, long time. Uncle John, this one your face is like this. Good evening, everybody. I mean, in fact, Nigeria matter don't tire me, honestly speaking. I've been saying it all the time. We know what to do. We just deliberately don't want Nigeria to work. That's the bottom line. There is nothing this man said today that we don't know about or we haven't heard before. It's just that the people in power just don't want Nigeria to work. So we don't need, we pray and call God. I hate, bring God into our Nigerian politics over and over again. But that's not the solution. We can call him from January to December. That's not the solution to what is going on. The problem is that, again, it's human-made. When you have a president who will leave the country and come back in 21 days just because he doesn't want to hand power to his vice president, and he will stay a little bit, and the next thing, maybe by next week, he's going to jet off. Which other president does that? Even the Ugandan president doesn't even travel like the way our president travels. And we are not holding anybody accountable. We have governors, we have, local government chairmen and chairwomen, but they are not, typically they are not in existence. They are just there, and nobody's holding them accountable. So, the problem of Nigeria is not spiritual, it's just physical. So until we begin to deal with it physical, we are not going nowhere. So we can come here and talk as much as we want to talk. You know that 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 can never be 3. No matter how much you want to drag it from this generation to another generation, it will remain 2. In order to fix Nigeria, we know what to do. Like he said something, Dr. Nnaemeka said, by now the opposition should not be talking about the election, which makes sense. I didn't even, think about that, like that. But when he said it, it makes sense. Because what do you expect to happen in 2027? You expect a different outcome? Tinubu wasn't the president, and I won't say Tinubu rigged the election. Buhari rigged the election for him, and now he has the power. And you think he's gonna let you people, Obi and co? It's not gonna happen, Of course, like our brother said, all he needs is INEC and judiciary and case closed. And again, Mahmoud or whoever that is there now will tell us to go to court, and you're gonna have the same outcome. So if you don't do something differently, I don't think there is any reason for us to be having election. And finally, I know a lot of people hate to, but I will keep saying it. If for people who believe in regionalization, if we can do that, let everybody go their own way. Let's stop lying to ourselves that, we are one Nigeria, because we are not. A lot of people are benefiting more than the other. We say that we are copying democracy from the United States. Is this how they operate? Is this how they operate? At least I can reach out to my, county people for one thing or the other. But can you do that in Nigeria? That is not how to run democracy. So let us stop lying to ourselves. If we truly want this country to work, we know what to do. The president and the whole of other people. President left the country. Vice president left the country. Who was running the country? Nobody. Ababio is sick. Of course, we definitely know that. So who was running the country? Nobody. It's just like a family where mama is not there, papa is not there. Who's running the house? And we all kept quiet and moved on as if nothing is going on or nothing happened. But we are busy hailing each other on social media. Like you said, money and water. That is all we want to know. The youth, they don't want to do anything anymore. Everybody wants to make quick money. Everybody want to be a content creator. Nobody wants to do more boy business and other stuff. Just anything to make money, quick, go to ritual, Baba Lawa or whoever to get money. That is what the youths are, interested in living the country. Like I was talking to somebody and he was like, I'm making somebody ask me to pay something in order to help me process the visa to Canada. I said, you are stupid. You don't need somebody to process anything. If you want, go to their website, look at the requirements, and present. You will be the one to go to the interview. There is nothing like prepare you for interview because you can prepare somebody for anything you want to. You go there and meet a different person. So we have always wanted easy cut, but we don't want to put in the work. How are we going to move our country forward? And I agree with him, Nigeria is irredeemable. Everybody is so selfish. Our politicians, people go into politics not to work for the citizen. People go into politics just for their own benefit. You see people when they're vying for governorship or any of the political office, they'll tell you, I can't wait. That's my cousin. If he enters there, my whole problem is gone. Are you kidding me? So people like me that don't know anybody in politics, what's going to happen to us? And that is the type of mindset that we have. When the governor of Georgia, there was a time I was in the hospital, and the governor came on our unit with only 2 people, no security. 2 people stopped at the nursing station, chatted with us. We talked and talked and talked. No security. They didn't tell us the governor is coming. He just walked in, came to visit somebody. Can that happen in Nigeria without having 200 security people following you? 2 people. He parked in the parking lot, walked himself up to the 3rd floor. So when you talk about democracy, if I'm copying KG, I have to copy KG from head to toe, what KG is doing right. But I haven't seen anything like democracy in Nigeria. You're talking about let Tinubu do his 8 years. Is there any way in our constitution that said that once you do 4 years, you must do another 4 years? Is that what the constitution said? It is south, it's north, it's south, north, east, and west. See, this is one thing I've always said. If you want to start doing this election by north and east and west and north, whatever it is, what you have to do is this. Let us start this campaign. If you want the north to do 8 years, leave the 8 years for them. We won't talk about the election. They give us the president. They do 8 years. When it gets to the turn of south, we don't need to worry about anything. The south will do their 8 years and then go back to north, since that's how we want to do it. And why are we people afraid of disintegration? Why are people afraid of disintegration? I am not afraid. I hate to say this, but I will. Let's not even talk about marginalization, because there are other people in South that, so let me not make it Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa. No, everybody's being marginalized in Nigeria. So the little things that we can get, we can't even get it. I was listening to somebody, I think Peter Aka, somebody on social media. All of a sudden, they will move you from band A to band E. The minister for electricity or power is busy trying to save up the money that he will use to go vie for governorship election. I think it's one of the states. Go and see the mansion that he built. Where did he get the money from? Tell me the business that he's doing. Tell me, where did he get the money? I work with one of his friends. He said, he works in whatever. He used to be whatever of a CBN. I said, are you telling me that he built this mansion with his salary? He said, you will not understand. You have carried your Igbo stuff. I said, that is the problem. I said, look at you doing tech job. He will call you and you will go represent him somewhere. They will give you money. So let us stop lying to ourselves. Masca is here. Masca, I think you're from the north. I'm not sure. Uncle John is here from Benue. I'm not sure what part. But let us tell ourselves the truth. I cannot go to Benin now and tell the governor there that I'm looking for a job in the. I say this all the time. He will not listen to me. He will tell me to go back to my state. So we are responsible, all of us.
Are you suggesting that if I go to your state now, they will give me work?
Good luck. That's all I say. Good luck. They're not going to give you work, Master. Let's be honest with that. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying that because it's going to be hard for me to come to your state and get a job as an Igbo person. And it's going to be difficult for you to go to East and get it. Let's be honest. It's everywhere. And that's why I am saying disintegrate. Let everybody go find your own way. Develop your area. The election, there will not be a different outcome in 2027. It's still going to be the same. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Let me even stop talking about this election. Because after 2027, we will come here, look stupidly, and analyze the same result of 2023. Thank you.
KJ, unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
KJ. It's like somebody has off your mic.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ify. Thank you. You drove the point home, and I think everybody, well understood what you're saying. And I want to just remind our panelists and viewers that there used to be a country called Senegambia. They are now separated, and so we have Senegal and we have Gambia. They used to be together. In fact, this was not donkey years ago. I was in secondary school when they separated, which is like in the 80s. So what are we saying here? So it's not strange to also reoccur in West Africa again, if it will help us all move forward in one direction. If you also say that the current situation we're facing, they're not new. We all know. Who doesn't know that Benue can produce everything in this world? Who doesn't know? How many federal government projects are there? Who doesn't know that in Jos you can produce every kind of fruit, any kind of fruits, wherever it is, be it apple, whatever, can grow in Jos, can grow in the Mambila Plateau, can grow in all those places. Who doesn't know? They know. They don't want to do it. Is it Libya? Wasn't Libya desert claimed by Mama Gaddafi, turned into a river? Okay. Is it that we lack what to do? Are these people who did it from the moon? We know what to do. The truth is that we are all playing each other. We don't want to tell ourselves the truth. And then when it comes to negotiating with other people, European countries, those tricks we use in deceiving each other, we don't carry it to the table and go and deceive them and get a good deal. We shout, oh, they are doing this to us, they are doing that, they will not allow us to do this. But we play each other every day. You all, find a way to continue to share the national wealth the way you deem fit, So it's most unfortunate but that's the situation we're in, and I totally agree with Ify when she made that conclusion. But here is Chris, who probably think otherwise. Chris, yes, you heard what Dr. Nnaemeka discussed. And one of the things I like about his interviews, or when he does his media broadcast, is the fact that he does not hold back his words. He calls them the way he should be. He insults them if he needs to insult them. It doesn't matter who the person is, whether he's from the southeast or the north or the west. The truth is that they're all of them are playing us the same game. It's just now that true leaders are beginning to emerge a little bit. And those two leaders that I'm thinking are beginning to emerge a little bit in Nigeria are just two governors. One from the southeast and the other one from, I can't put it together now. But there's another governor that's also doing well for his people. Apart from that, that's all. The rest are just, it's even now that I'm surprised at what he said concerning the governor of Imo State, because before now, we are seeing the masquerade, but now since he said the guy has got woken up from his slumber, let us accept him. What are you saying?
Hello, everyone. Hi, KG. Can you hear me?
Very clear and loud too.
Okay. Well, I didn't follow him from the beginning, actually, but I got interested. I came in when he talked about the tax. So that brought me in. But from the answers he was giving, I became conflicted. First, he's saying the right things a little bit, but he seems to think that leadership is the problem. Let's go back to history. I like history. In 1960 to 66, we have good crop of leaders. People will always say, every day we keep on saying they are our heroes. And I can't see any other, since then, I haven't seen any other better leaders, group of leaders that are better than them. Then the question is asked, if the leadership is the problem of Nigeria, why did the First Republic fail under them? People will say, oh, the army took over. Army took over. They didn't just take over. There was a reason why they took over. It was the failure of the system that made them to come to try to salvage it. So the leadership wasn't the problem. You see, when you start a company, you always have this, what they call mission statement. Every company has it. Vision. That is, it tells you the vision of that company. When Azikiwe, Awolowo, and Saduana Osokoto were handed over Nigeria, each one of them had the vision of what Nigeria would be to them. One says he wants to conquer Nigeria. The other one wants to hybridize the whole nation into one. The other one saying, no, you stay there, I stay there, and then we can what's the word now? Instead of hybridization, there'll be some kind of cross-pollination. So while they were where they were at it, one of them decided that he will enforce his vision on Nigeria. So he went into Southwest. That caused the problem. And then, in fact, not only in Southwest, actually, he decided to kill the Middle Belt. So he was sending military to suppress the Middle Belt. Because they were saying they were trying to resist certain things. They were trying to, establish themselves. But he decided to bring them under his control, and then also move into Western region, or what I will call Yoruba land. That caused the problem, and that's how the First Republic fell. So it is the problem of system. It is the problem of incompatibility. So when people come here and say bad leaders, when you design any system that you will expect good people to run it, then that system is not good at all. If you design a car that you need a very good driver to drive, that car is not good. That system is not good. So I became conflicted when he kept on saying all these things about the need for Southeast to develop, which I agree with him, and the way he went about it. And then he said that Nigeria is unredeemable. But on the other hand, he is trying to condemn those who are saying, okay, well, let's find another solution or another alternative to Nigeria. You see? So that's where I became conflicted. He is against those who are trying to find alternative to Nigeria, when he knew that Nigeria is irredeemable. So what is this? What I mean, you know, he says that, okay, let's invest. Jonathan invested in education and military schools. Are they operational today? The answer is no. So it boils down to what the people want. There is what we call, you know, DNA in a human being determines your character. So is culture determine the character of a society. Whether we like it or not, we will come back to if we actually reincarnate, if we are going to reincarnate back into Nigeria, if Nigeria stays till 200 years, it will be like this. The only reason why it hasn't fallen down completely is because of the hydrocarbon in Igbo land and the surroundings. So that is the reason why you have Nigeria. So you have international interest in that hydrocarbon. You have the internal interest in that hydrocarbon.
Okay.
So when people come here to find, okay, the last speaker before me, or no, not Ify, the other guy, the revolution, he said, all of us should come together and chase these people away. In a way, I agree to a certain extent, but not coming together. Okay? Because there's no way we can come together if we don't understand our problems.
Okay.
Okay? There's no way we can come together. I believe in revolution, but the way to do it is not coming together.
Okay. Thank you.
The way to do it is this. Let me just land this point. Okay? The way to do it, if it is going to happen, is understanding the differences between us. 2, then we go back to each region, like Yoruba people will go back to Yoruba land and start their revolution. The Igbos will go back to the Igbo land and start the revolution. The Hausa or the Fulanis or the TVs will go back to their own land and start the revolution. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is simple. If all of us come today, and we know nobody should go to Abuja, actually. I don't think that even going to Abuja, because each time they say, let's march to Abuja, if anybody is marching to Abuja, it's not going to work. So go back to your home village, to your village, to your states, to your locality, to your ethnic nationality, to your nations.
Okay, can I ask a question before I move forward?
Okay.
Since you are talking about history, the reason why the coup failed in the first place was because this idea was what was used, but individuals who went to those regions didn't carry out their own function. How are you sure that when you come together to again plan to go back to your regions and go and do the revolution, that it will not bring the same result as the one that was in 1966?
Yes, I said, I asked the country. I said, failed. I didn't ask about the coup. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about the coup.
I didn't ask about why the coup failed. Right? I understand your question, but I'm coming. I'm going to answer it. Okay. Now, the reason why I said each nationality must go to their own nations to try this revolution is one, because they must have a constitution. They must provide for themselves the constitution they want to rule themselves with. And then they can go and start that revolution. Start telling them, it may not be just a revolution. All they need to do is to force their representative in their nation and tell them they must pass this constitution as their own way of the way they want to be governed. Okay? That's the only way Nigeria can be salvaged. Because if you go, the reason why is if you come together and then somebody will say to you, oh, this is Igbo. Don't forget, Nnamdi Kanu is now in prison because of the NSTARS. So you're not going to tell an Igbo man to come and to start any revolution, to remove Tinubu from office, and he will agree. In the first place, Yoruba man will say, why Tinubu is no worse than what's that man? The mask wearer. The former president.
Buhari.
Okay? Buhari. So Tinubu is no worse than Buhari. So why now? Why do you want to remove Tinubu?
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. I hear what you're saying. I'm just too afraid that Nigeria is too divided right now for any kind of concession to be built on the central level, with people accepting to do certain things in their region and it to be accepted. Of course, that Nnamdi Kanu never took part in the the NSAS, but because he even lent a voice, the people who took part are not in prison. He is in prison. So I'll be careful to say if things should be done across board, or even at the regional level, because once he fails, it becomes that that particular ethnic group where he fails from will be the ones that will be held accountable, because they will say it is them who have planned another one. Even the one that we now know that was not.
Let me tell you why it will not fail.
Being said is not an Igbo coup, but the
let me tell you why this one will not fail. The reason why it will not fail is simple. Okay? The federal government, since they are each one of them is doing whatever match they are doing within their own nationality, there will be no reason for the federal government to take up soldiers to go and kill the Yorubas, or to take up soldiers to go and kill the Igbos, or to take soldiers and go and kill the Fulanis or the TVs, who are actually asking their people to rule them the way they want to rule them. And if they do, then that's when the international community will be interested in this. Because it will, there's no reasonable man or soldier you will say, okay, the Yorubas will go, they will ask the Yorubas, why do you want to go and kill my people? They are not in your place. They have soldiers in Europe.
All right, let's move on. Okay, thank you so much.
Each one of us must have to do it that way. That's the best way you can succeed. But to come together, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you so much. And I just want to move on. One of the best advice given in the modern Nigerian history is the advice that was given by the Sultan of Sokoto. And I'm not saying this to patronize him, but I think that advice was wisdom that we should write into our nation and spirit. Let's not forget our differences. Let's understand them. And when we do understand them, we know how we can go forward. I'm coming to you, Janaba. This gentleman made this statement many years ago. Has that which he said actually caught up with us, or is it that we have been able to understand our differences? Yeah, Janaba.
KJ and fellow panelists, good evening. The young man spoke well. Have some my own understanding in agree or disagree in some ways. But coming to the issue of Nigeria, whether we go sectional at this point, it make no difference. What will make difference, in my own opinion, is the citizen, a radical leader should allow the citizen to bear firearms to protect themselves and to protect their domain. In doing so, it put pressure on the radical or the reckless leaders to behave and reckless citizens. Mind you, in order to see such a leader that will come very strong, it's not going to be through the democracy we are practicing right now. This is a chop by chop uh, democracy, and that's why some people say, "Oh, let the North do 8 years, let the East do 8 years, let the West do 8 years, and with the minority, we're on our own." Because that is no leadership. The minority can lead, the majority can lead, as far as there is a system in place. If you go sectional, there are pressures in the East that already took so many money will give and protect themselves, and they do it like Tinubu is doing right now. If you go to the North, the same thing, because they believe that the citizens they are already demoralizing the citizens. The citizen will not hold them accountable. It's about accountability. And we have a rotten policy, a rotten institutions that are not functioning. Police, judiciary, even the military. They take order based on whatever they give to them to do, not based on the law of whatever they're supposed to provide the service, which they take oath to do. So, well, take Igbo to anywhere, he will do the same thing. Take Hausa to anywhere, he will do the same thing. But once the citizens are empowered and given the opportunity to do the right thing with a radical leader, because the level where we are right now, ordinary Nigerians are struggling to feed, to clothe, to move from one place to another. Insecurity is there. And when we talk about insecurity, we are talking about insecurity in every aspect. We don't have any check and balance. Like someone can just, you may be afraid why you see people want foreign food, which is not the best, is because they don't trust in Nigeria that they can even poison themselves. The FDA will not even understand. If you send them to go and inspect something, maybe they take a bribe, they never go there. People that want to do genuine business will be frustrated for many years. Sometimes people live abroad, like the brother here, Okpara, who said that he went to establish a little company in his village and have gone bankrupt. Because it's the mentality. It may not be the cost of the product, or they are not seeing the product to use for the bakery, the flour. Even if you if it become expensive, what you do is to increase the price, because they don't tell the end consumer who will bear the burden somehow, especially when it comes to food. But it's the mentality that many business that you run in Nigeria, if you are not there in person, and even when you are there, you have to be proactive and put so many measures together to make it work. Those that you employ in order to support them to get to feed their family, be responsible as a man in their family or woman. They are the one that will come and loot you. Never understand that if this company go down, federal government do not give them job. And in any society, federal government, state government, or local government, they are not a big uh, employer of the citizens. It's a small business. And this is the mentality across Nigeria. It's not any Yoruba, any Hausa specific or special or immune to it. It's the mentality, the low morale and lack of true leadership that to bring to the society. So okay, there will be when you talk about firearms, of course, mind you, if you have a gun with you, the next neighbor will be careful, very careful, and you will be careful too. Of course, Nigeria, we are born with anger. You see us come here, we express ourselves. Just imagine if you are one studio, there will be exchange of blow. I even know somebody I will blow right now here. so, 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 so it's not, we are not, we are incompetent in so many ways. They say there is no job. Go to your family, immediate family now in Nigeria. They are not competent. Not too many Nigerians are competent, even know ethic, how to work. Even you give them job. Some of them, those people that want to join fire service, want to join the civil defense, is because they can take the uniform and never go there and still collect the money. So who is working? How things will work? So this is the country we have. And we need a true radical leader that will say enough is enough. Let's start all over again. And of course, that means, and as I round off, that means that if whatever you are saying, the foreign power that intervene in our issues, maybe they see that you are serious, there will be sanctions. But any nations, China and other nations, have faced it and overcome it, which means Nigerian, that once that leader emerge, it will be tough, very tough, but there will be a path forward. But not this whether I chop democracy of 8 years and then we continue going this way and we keep talking here and there every day. I think that is not the way forward. What we have now that will say we should manage and prolong evil days. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
KJ, please let me tell my brother John Abba, you are right, but what made us to collapse or to stop the production was not because people were not competent. What made us was the cost of production.
Okay.
Diesel went, high. Everything went high, and we couldn't compete because the bakery is a very competitive. Those ones who were there already, they had already made their market. But we as the starter, it was difficult for us to, from 10,000 to 40,000 to 45 to 75,000. It was horrible. Even if you look at the bakeries, business in Nigeria, most of them collapsed. Many of them collapsed because of the high cost of production and materials. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I totally agree with that. Jonaba, at that time I was in Abuja when the late head of state took over, and I was engaged in so many businesses. One of the business I used to do, which is my part-time business, was the FLP, Forever Living Product. And at that time, registration was 150,000. In fact, 158,000 for you to register into that business. And that was before Buhari took over. Okay. In fact, it first went from what it used to be, about 50 something to 80 something to 150, doubled. Then we still had members, had people who are registering. And then some weeks after, that is 3 months in delay, that the dollar fell so much. It went to 500,000. And in all honesty, I didn't think I should approach a friend of mine like John Abba and to say, bring 500,000 and come and put into a business that you may not be able to recoup your money or even half of your money in 6 months. That's how majority of us dropped out of that business. Even though we were, before that happened, we were contributing 3% into the Nigerian economy from that business, that Forever Living business. It fell woefully. We were number 3 in the world, heading for number 1 before Buhari took over. We fell from that number 3 to somewhere, between 20 and something. I don't even know where they are now, because for me, I stopped the business. And many of my friends who were in it also stopped. I wasn't just a member, I was a senior manager. I was almost becoming, I was a senior manager. I had many people who were in the business with me, but majority of them also dropped out. So I'm simply saying that, the environment became so difficult that you could not continue to do the business. That was just it. You couldn't continue to do the business. Anyway, that's a lesson. If we learned it, well, I don't think we have learned it. But let's hear from the Blackstone. Maybe he has a different view from John Abba. So, and you heard what Dr. Nnaemeka said, and you heard his argument. I totally believe that if such people are given opportunity, they will be able to perform, because you can see what he's doing. And he's not the only one in Nigeria, but he just happened to be from the southeast. Do you think that such people should be given opportunity to express what they know on ground so that Nigeria can move forward?
I say good day to everybody. Thank you, Mr. KJ, for this opportunity. Are you hearing me?
Very clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listened to Mr. Nnaemeka, right? And all that is said about Nigeria is true. And also, he's been trying to encourage people actually to invest or do something in Nigeria is not a bad thing, right? In the farming industry, because he is there already, right? And then so yeah, this actually, if you are going into Nigeria to do any business, you have to be very, very careful, right? Because what I see in Nigeria is that the greatest and the biggest problem is the issue of character and dedication, right? And if you are going to go into Nigeria for anything, you have to be able to be sure that you are having the right people who has good character. And this issue of character also is a part of our political problem today. Because Nigeria doesn't value anything, all that it values money, right? And that have trickled down from the politicians to the common people. And anybody you talk to these days in Nigeria will tell you it's after money. And with that mindset, going to any position in Nigeria is going there to go and embezzle the state's resources, not to bring in ideas, right? So if you have people like Dr. Nnaemeka, right, in politics or appointed into the right offices, it be also very difficult for them to also to work and successful, because what about the people around them? What about these people who are working for him? They have same mindset with him, because he himself can't carry out every responsibility. He has to pass some of the responsibility to the junior people or to staff and everything. What is the mindset of those people? What did they have in mind? So the Nigeria issue dealing with people is quite complex, because you can only talk about yourself. You can only talk about what you know. You cannot vouch for somebody else, right? I once had a lady who was the permanent secretary of the Paraseta, who just came there and everything. At the end of the year, she was quite clean. She was straightforward and everything. Was quite disciplined. At the end of the year, there were some of the money budgeted for their put and everything. There were some also other they didn't utilize all the money, and when it happens like that, I have to return it back to the federal account, right? The other of the colleagues came to him. We were there before he came to me, Madam, this is how we do it. At the end of the year, there are money remaining, and this is how we do it. The man said, no, she can't do it. No, say, Madam, this is not the right person and so far. At the end of the day, right, she was pressurized, and so she fell into their trap and everything. After 1 month later, then the government asks for an account and everything, you know. But she being the head, she was the only one that was affected, not even the junior officers or the people that coerced her to make it that share that money. She lost the job. So this is Nigeria, because we're all under pressure, because you don't know so much, because these people have been there for a very long time, right? And so they say that advising you, right? Because they have been there in this position, in that office, in that person for a very long time. You are just coming in, right? So this is like actually is character. It's character. The civil servant, everybody in Nigeria is after money. How do what they want to embezzle? How to want to enrich themselves? How to want to enrich their family?
Okay.
And so on that ground, so that such people who are having that idea, you give them a political position, or they're in politics, or they're in political, they will do worst, because they already have straight access to the funds and everything, the country money. So no matter what we do, Nigeria is in fact, I don't know how would I put it, because Nigeria is in a big mess. It's a big problem. I don't see Nigeria getting better in the next 20, 30 years.
Okay.
Because let me just conclude with this one. Because if somebody comes in there to say, I have, this is my character, this is what I'm good and everything, is it good to be there forever? After 4 years or 8 years, he leave that office. Somebody is coming. And
but if he made a very good point, and I want also look at it. She said if 8 years is a thing, if every region must get 8 years, so there's no need for election now. Since is the west is the south now, let's just stay in the west, south. Okay, as long as whatever you do, give us another person. Once your 8 years complete, we'll go to the north. We'll say north, bring your candidate. After 4 years, if you want to continue with it, okay. If you don't want to continue, give us somebody else. So there's no need for us to waste time to be electing people and waste money.
It is still be the same thing, right? Just election in Nigeria is just like it's a show. It's a show of that. We are democratic to the other part of the world, right? They know what they are doing. It has been arranged.
Okay.
It has been arranged.
Okay, so because I don't know.
There's nothing new. There's nothing strange. So this is Nigeria for you, and these are the people for, because what actually baffled me is that what actually changed, and what made the people have that type of mindset that we have today. Looking at our forefathers, our fathers, and everything, would they have the same mindset?
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. I have very powerful men behind the stage. So if anybody is wanting to go out, we can bring those people in also. Then we will quickly wrap up.
What the powerful men mean? Those are not they're not powerful.
No, all of you are powerful. Now I'm saying I have powerful men like you people behind. So before they accuse me of marginalizing them, I don't
KJ,
want that to happen.
take me backstage, KJ.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
And let him not go. I really want to query him. Let him not go.
Oh, really?
I want to. Yes, I just.
Okay, I will leave him. Even though if he's backstage, you still hear you.
Tony,
you still hear you. So
I want to understand your position. You're kind of being ambivalent. I want to.
Okay, no problem. Now
KJ, take me backstage. When is his turn? When he says whatever, then I can report it. You bring me back.
All right, no wahala. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
KJ,
put me on backstage.
Okay, thank you so much. Also,
that's where you belong. That's where you belong.
CM, can we hear you? And yeah, Masker, I'm sorry you've been coming off and on. I don't know how the placement is now, but anybody who wants to speak first can also do. CM, go ahead. Then after that, Masker, you can come on. So, without too long. I don't know how long your network is going to remain.
Good evening, KJ. Good evening, everybody. I observe all protocols. Actually, I will say I missed a greater part of the interview or the conversation between Rudolph and Dr. Obiaraeri. The much I listened to, I heard him. In fact, he said, it's like he summarized with his closing remarks. You can see frustration in all that he said. I was listening to some of them. I commend his efforts for sort of, trying to live by example. What he's preaching, he's doing it. And all the contacts he's making, I heard him say Ethiopian Airlines export something for him, watermelon and all those things. Yes. The thing I wanted to ask him was, he said his eternal mentor was Dr. Michael Ihionokara, MI Okpara, MI Power. But he forgot one thing, that Okpara achieved a lot because Okpara is the government. Whether it is security, whether it's red tape, whether it's everything, is involved. But he is not in government. He said he invested 98 million on something, then unknown government carted everything away because there was no security. Yes, it is within his reach to provide money, to secure land, to do this. But to provide state security, whether it's army or navy or police, is not within his reach. If it were MI Okpara, it won't happen. So in other words, the underlying thing there is government involvement. When they say enabling environment, it does not just mean absence of rainfall or absence of a tsunami, but like earthquake, all those things. No, this is what they call enabling environment. So my question to him would have been, you're comparing yourself with Okpara. Okpara is involved. It's like Okpara is the person doing it. He is the government. So he knows all these things. Nobody will bring red tape and then delay him. He wants to import something, he comes in, he wants to do this, he wants to export. But, well, from a private sector point of view, I give him a pass mark, he's trying. But that is not even I've seen people do it. As an Igbo, I know he can do more. He summarized, he said something, that the opposition in Nigeria, what they should do, because that comes from a long years of experience of our, what do they call it? Try your luck. If you take this one, you go chop my money. If you don't take this one, if you take them, I go chop you. Now we they do. I don't want to say it in Igbo because some people may not understand it, but it's very interesting. The person will play card, say, this is the card you will take so that you will eat my money. Don't ever take this one. If you take that one he pointed, your money don't go. He will not blame you, say, Shebi, I told you. You say, but it's the more you look, the less you see. You see, he said the right thing. That ordinarily, it could have been a case of, we at this point, we halt. We sort out the internal contradictions, I keep saying it here. Part of it is, how do we relate to each other? It's not just doing an election every 4 years. Tinubu was an outsider looking in, and he said he bought the seat with his money. Remember, he said, I bought this, I bought it. Those that he bought it from, whether they issued him receipt, I don't know. Now he's now the seller. He's going to buy it from himself. You see the thing? A professor of law, for his former member of his legal team, is now in charge of INEC. So no buzz about that. That's why Chido Denkalo saw it and said, Tinubu doesn't, I think if he corroborated it, Tinubu doesn't need even this campaign. 2023, he did not campaign. He did not come for debate. Even to debate Atiku or to debate P2B or debate Showore or any other, he didn't come for debate. Tinubu has a TV station, TVC. Even if you don't want to debate us, go there and sit in your body lawn. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, you are Man Friday. We bring a camera, focus it. They will even tell you what to say. They make believe. They say Tinubu has spoken. These are his policy. I mean, there are so many, what do they call them? Spin doctors. They will spin it to the way it should be. He couldn't even do this. He went to Chatham House. We thought he would disgrace himself. He was dishing out questions. Hey, Rufa, you handle this. Bayo Nonoga, you do this. He was giving them questions. In the end, look at where Nigeria is. So are you now telling me that judiciary is in his pocket? So what are you talking about? How do you, what? Judiciary is in his pocket. already. The INEC, we are talking of resources. So he just wait when he reached. His only concern is to please Trump. That's why he released $9 million. Let them go and tell Trump that now that Igbo man where they on where they sell a screwdriver, now they deceive them. Forgetting that Trump sent people to go and see for himself. Say go for fact finding. And those people came and file report. Yet they are still blaming a person where they sell or cracker or screwdriver furniture. So you see, everything, what Obiaraeri said that I really love when he's in final remarks is this. At this point, Oyibo man say when you see yourself in a hole, you stop digging. Nigeria should stop digging. Nigeria has long, this idea of a unity at all cost. It has cost us human material resources and made us underdeveloped. Nigerians are living in Stone Age. For those that really want to tell, that can see beyond their nose, it has cost us a lot. This is the time they say you have to stop and then ask questions. It's no longer a case of run the mill. We do election. I hit you. I go and give dollar. This one we give. This one I will outbid you. In 2012, in 1992, I read a Time magazine. June 1992. At that time, they were preparing for June 12. A year before June 12, I read a Time magazine. The title is "Who Are They? Americans Debate Their Identity." Who are they? Americans debate their identity. That is the point Nigeria should be talking now. Because this is a new generation. The generation that fought the war that have been sowing all this, all this ridiculous, this person, everybody is tired now. So this is the time. What he said was, Nigeria cannot move. We are now borrowing money to pay salary. We borrow money. Out of the money we borrowed, we take $9 million to go and give some Americans to come and be telling lies. Even when the American ambassador is in Abuja, seeing things for himself. Riley Moore is now visiting Nigeria. He filed a report. Mossad, Israeli secret agents are in Nigeria. So what lie are you going to go and tell Donald Trump? You are lobbying. We go and tell him that we are doing something. But Mossad is there telling them where to bomb next. So that when they aggregate, they did. It's a shame. That's why I said, when you see yourself in a hole, you stop digging. Nigeria should stop all this. This juvenile ostracism. You hide yourself in the sand where your dirty posterior is. Everybody's laughing at you. So what nonsense are they talking about? What I should have told Obiaraeri was, what he should be telling people is that if we cannot sit down now and say no more election, what we want is everybody stay in your own corner for now and go and sort yourself out. If we can't do that, why? Somalia, that is giving the world problem. Somaliland has been recognized by Israel. For those that are talking of all this dangerous narrative, unity, everybody is afraid. Why are you afraid? Look at Somalia. Since the exit of Mohammed Siad Barre in 1989, Somalia has been a war-torn country. Internal strife. Now they realize that the area called Somaliland want to be away. Israel recognized them. They are now, so the other one is called Puntland. They also want to be on their own. Eritrea. So why should Nigeria? Because we've tried it. What haven't we tried? We've tried each other. There is all these things people are talking about. No good leader can emerge like this. Sometimes I pity P2BO. Supposing they hand them over Nigeria now, where will he start? You borrow money. Nobody's really. We are no longer interested in it. Running government. It's just to go and everything. Just okay. So what of how many? Okay, let's count. Islamic State of Iran and Syria. ISIS is in Nigeria. Boko Haram is in Nigeria. Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, is in Nigeria. Lakurawa is in Nigeria. Achad is in Nigeria. There's other ones. Taking resident. And you say you are commander in chief. How are you gonna battle them? How? I want to be a realist. So all these things, Nigeria, we've have to grown all these things. There's no political theory that will ever work in Nigeria. If you like, go and play, it can't work. The only thing that will work is at this point we've tried it. We look ourselves in the face and say, look, we are strange bedfellows. This is what we have to do. You go and sort yourself out. Let me go and sort myself. We can't continue the two adults coming together to deceive themselves, having hope. Which hope? When Buhari came 2015, do we know it will be like this? I have never seen any country in the world in which an opposition want to win an election. He go and invite terror to his own country. A country you want to be the commander-in-chief. You will collude to go and bring terror from outside to come and be ravaging your country just to make sure that you shame the commander-in-chief so that he will get out, you enter. Now look at where we are. This is the tragedy of Nigeria. I don't pass to come and they talk me all these things. So look at where we are. Look at terror. Nigerian terror was not homegrown. They were imported. They were told to come in. Do I give you who doesn't know? They camped in Ekiti State to wait for Jonathan. Camped in Kaduna, Katsina, I think Zamfara, and one other, I think Borno, and one other state. 6 states. Go and read what is it called? Premium Times. So these are since then, look at where we are. And then people are still having hope. We can't.
All right. Thank you, CM. We are more than 155 people watching, plus 3 people on Facebook. Can you please like the broadcast? Can we just like the broadcast and share it so that more people can also be engaged? It will help us. It will help the algorithm that is being used to bring or to advertise this or to even send it to people. So help us to share it, please. Especially if you are on Iroko Post TV, please like and share. Having said that, I want to thank you, CM.
Sorry, KJ, please. KJ, please. Just 30 seconds before you thank me. For those that do not know, there's a country called Singapore. Singapore is like Lagos State divided by maybe 3,000. Let's just say 4 land mass. Singapore is far smaller than Lagos State. Go and check your wiki, everything to tell you the size.
Okay.
Yet, where Singapore is now, if you leave Nigeria the next 100 days, they won't attain it. What is the population of Singapore? 6 million. 6 million, only 6.
Okay, if you're allowed, we are going to come to that because recently we had to pay 9 million for image laundering. And so we'll probably have time to discuss that if we can. If not, maybe another day. Yes, thank you for your contribution. I won't want to try and summarize that, leave it. And I'll go straight to Masca because we're running out of time. I see 4 further behind. I'm going to try and bring you in. And Jefferson and Oti have not spoken. And of course, my brother, Mr. Ike. I see all of you, and we'll try and get to you before we can change the topic. Yeah, Masca, you go ahead.
I'm also like, if in Nigerian matter, I don't tire people completely. But what can we say? As long as we are alive and we still are called Nigerians, what can we do?
Okay, so maybe I should ask you a question. The guy profound an idea that the government of Nigeria can actually help the people if we wanted to develop by making use of our resources that is not movable, and that is land. And this land, like I reiterated earlier, has enough nutrients and resources for our people who you don't even need to train them. They're already farmers. What is happening? Why can't our government or governments of different states go to these local people? You don't even need to. You just simply say to them, you know what, we'll supply you seed, farm, and we'll share the proceeds. That's what some people do in my community. When you have widows who don't have anybody, to help them. You like people like us who don't live in the community. We tell them, I have this land here, I have this land here, I have this land here. you go farm it. Okay, at the end of the farming season, whatever you harvest, you can just give me 20%. If you want, you can give me 10%, depending on what you agree with them. And they go, this thing help these people and keep them living a good life because it is already what they know. You're not giving them anything extra. But if you're even a good person and you want to help them, you pay them. Say, you know what, I give you this money to do the farm, do it, harvest your own, give me my share, and then I still pay you while you are doing all the farm work. Is that too difficult for government to do in Nigeria, or don't we have the money for that?
No, actually, government had done something like that. There's this Anko Borrower program. Government did it. Okay. Okay, so let me put it this way. Nigeria's problem is complex. I hear people simplify it more often than not. Okay, it's quite a complex because when a problem keeps festering, it's like you have a wound. Bacteria will enter, everything will enter. So if it was one thing that just caught you, before you know it now, they say it's tetanus, they may have to cut the whole leg up. This is the case of Nigeria's issue. As long as you leave a problem to keep festering, it's going to only get more complex. So government does stuff, but when you say government is doing it, at the end of the day, we would say, okay, give this money to Nigerians. Well, as it is now, Nigeria's problem is not only government, it's not only leadership. Even Nigerians are bad as people. We've all turned bad. Somebody that you are supposed to help, you give him the money, he will go and do something else. Not thinking of, okay, if this is a revolving program that they give us this money so that we make good our lives, and then they can use the money for other people, somebody will carry it. As I speak to you now, I know a lot of people that are with DSS for that Uncle Borrowers program. Money that government gave so that you can do the agricultural product and bring the product. We gave you the money, so bring the product so that at least we can calculate how much we gave you, how much is the product. People, Nigeria, it's just a complicated place. But in my submission actually is, the truth is, when we say government, we don't really have government. I tell people, everybody in Nigeria now is just a hustler. You see somebody, you say he's a governor, that is his own hustle. You see policeman, you think he's policing people, he's just hustling. You go to hospital, you think you are looking at a doctor, the man is hustling. This is the issue.
That's a deep one, Masker. So what do we do? Because if the professionals have become hustlers, what do we do?
Okay, so what I keep saying, because the truth also is that the bulk of Nigerians want Nigeria to be good, and they know that Nigeria can be good. Okay. Now, I think there was a time when this guy, I think it was Dr. Dominic, who was saying that civic responsibility and stuff. So I had to ask him a couple of questions. Sorry, excuse me. What I do know about life is that when you say, what should we do? The truth is that you may know what to do, but you may not know how to do it. You need to cook food now, you're hungry. You know that what you're supposed to do is cook food. But it's not everybody. Me now, if you take me, I can't cook anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? We know what to do. The challenge really is, how do we go about it? We know what to do. We need to remove bad leadership, and we need to educate our people. But like I said that day, even before you start going to educate people, you yourself, you need to go and educate yourself. But the long and short answer to you, KJ, my conviction is that in this country, and in any country, anywhere, in any society, the people at the top of any arrangement that are enjoying that arrangement, do not look up to them to think that they are the ones that will dismantle that arrangement if it's not a favorable arrangement, because they are the ones enjoying it. You can't look at the National Assembly today, because people talk and talk, say, let's go our own way. I look at people and I laugh, like, okay, even the Igbo people that are even today in the National Assembly, they are not going to allow that thing to happen because they are enjoying it. You may talk and talk as much as you would like, but the reality is that you have to understand the dynamics. You have to look for like minds, people who you can work together, people who are not the ones enjoying. and people who are not the part of the people that have been completely downtrodden. There are so many Nigerians today that they don't want to hear anything. It's just to worry about what I'm going to eat. You understand? So it's me and you that we can eat, that we can have money for internet, that are now worried about the way forward, that we should work together. Forget about our differences. The truth is that we must work together if we are going to salvage the country, even if at the end of the day we want to divide the country. The truth is that like minds who believe that things are not okay must work together. But talking and talking is not going to. So the way in my mind is that people.
All right. I was afraid of that, Should have brought him in since so that his network doesn't have to freeze. Okay. Mr. Ike, go ahead, sir.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending from where you are. Yeah, KJ, what's on the table, or what's on your plate?
Okay, we're actually discussing the outcome of Dr. Nnaemeka's interview earlier on, and what
Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
What's your take?
Well, I think when he was having one-on-one with Rudolph, I listened to everything. It was the interview when it was one-on-one, but during the time of question and answers, I was kind of busy walking away from the office, going down, going up, so I wasn't following. But on the one-on-one conversation, I was highly impressed. Everything he was saying is what people like us who didn't go to school say here every day. Maybe the way we say it, people don't understand it, but I think he has 80% of everything I used to say here, he said all of them, in one-on-one conversation. If you want to talk about the issue of the Christian genocide, the insecurity in Nigeria, the government in question, corruption, the people that are involved, So I was highly impressed by his own, assessment of everything. And also, what he said about Venezuela, also, it has always been what I've been saying here every time we brought we brought the issue of Venezuela here. So in general, I think I was impressed with what he said. I was impressed with his, private capacity and what he's doing, and it's a sign of, even though no matter how bad the country is, that somebody can also take the risk to invest. And um, he gave he said so many things that can always encourage us, more especially we from the southeast. He gave some few examples, and I think um, if we have if we have if we have a governor like Elexot in two states in the southeast, I think probably our problem will be lesser. But in all and all, I can see his frustration, because sometimes you can see what the frustration is doing. But at the end of the day, he's not giving up hope to do privately what he feels he wants to do. But in terms of the government, there is no hope for him in terms of the government, and I think it's what everybody is crying every day. The examples of our former leader, Dr. Obara, he brought into the fold was also very, very educated and very uh, helpful to my own understanding, also the way I understand. And I think at the end of the day, that question that everybody is running away from, Nigeria, we should be able to discuss about the future of Nigeria as a country. And I think it's one of the key things that has been the problem of Nigeria, because we are afraid to sit down together and talk about the way forward. And I think he continued to repeatedly saying the same thing about trying to, one of the most solution of Nigeria is that we have to agree to sit down together to negotiate Nigeria. You know, everybody should be on the table, say what you think, how you want Nigeria to move forward. But at the end of the day, the people who are afraid to discuss Nigeria on the round table, they are the beneficiary of the crime and the corruption and the mismanagement and misrule that is going on in Nigeria. So, but I think at the end of the day, we will continue to keep trying. We will continue to keep talking. And I believe that someday, sometime, Nigerians themselves, because he said something which I always say here, power belongs to the people. And until the people themselves decide that enough is enough. I think that when Nigerians stop being content creators they do online, sharing their private part and shaking their back and front, and because that's what taking over the internet and the space. I'm not saying that somebody should not make money with whatever he feels that the God-given talent he or she has, but I think the generation of today are more concerned with watching TikTok and the other things. They only remember they have a problem when they say that when the government increase school fees, or when there is a scarcity of when they increase the price of transportation. That's when they remember, oh, we have a problem. But even as much that there's something to talk about on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, they don't care. They are busy enjoying the human show we do on TikTok. So I keep saying that Nigerians themselves, until when they say that enough is enough, because these people who has hold all of us down here, they're not up to 1 million, and if a population of 250 million cannot subdue 240 million people, I think all of us are guilty of the same problem. So at the end of the day, I enjoyed him. He's in his own field. He understand what he was talking about. And like when he said he talked about the governor of Imo State, that he just wake up, in every situation, somebody will always say there are people who will disagree with you what you feel about Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, but there is nothing for me that Hope Uzodinma has done in Imo State for 8 years. So doesn't matter whatever he says about the governor of Imo State. I'm not interested, because the people, the young boys and girls who has left the senatorial zone where he come from Oru or Suto or local government, people, young boys and girls who have been killed because of his style of administration in Imo State, and people who have lost millions and millions of businesses. I cannot forgive him, because there are so many things he did in the local government where all of us come from, including himself. So, but history will judge at the end of the day. So,
All right.
nothing is good.
Okay, thank you. I like the last part which you concluded, and that's why we will just urge Zokalo back to Igbere come 2027. Such people have nothing to be forgiven about. They should go back to their community. When you come, Igbos have a proverb: Otonye anetiri ọha aka. So when it gets to the point where you decide that means you have become a witch, and witches don't live in our communities. We expunge them from the community to go and look for where they will live. You don't come and hold the community down because you're a witch. No, you go to where witches live and go and live there. All right. I haven't said that.
Sorry. You know the worst part of all this thing we are talking about? In Osun, or where Hope Uzodinma come from, when he goes away from the government, he's not going to retire in Osun. He will go to live in Abuja. He will not go to his town to live. But he was governor for 8 years. He will go to live in Abuja like the way, because that's where he has been. Since he has been governor for 8 years in Imo State, how many days does he stay in Imo State? His government, he runs Imo State from Abuja, and also at the office of the Mr. President, where he's cleaning his shoes, you know, as leader of governors of, is it Southeast or APC? I don't know what it is. So
All
it's the
right.
same thing.
Thank you.
If you have served your people well, you should be fond enough to go back to your village. That's why
Yes,
they
sir.
don't have Mr. Peter Obi.
Yes.
Anywhere Mr. Peter Obi goes to the governor of Anambra State is a problem. Mr. Obi,
Yes.
even Mr. Peter Obi going there through the back door, they will discover him. And when they go, hey, the former governor of Anambra State is here.
I
He
agree
will
with you.
relate to your governor of Anambra State. So it's the same thing.
Anyway, Hope Uzodinma is not bad at everything. At least he has a very beautiful, fashionable wife. So we can at least admire him for his wife. Okay, let me go to Oti, who probably have a very short and concise addition to make.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I have more. I mean, more like questions, really, because I listened to our panelists here, and sometimes I don't understand the puzzlement people express, you know, about the Nigerian situation, and that's the reason why I'm much more interested in kind of probing people's thinking and understanding, you know. And really, I ask myself, what is it if we're not making any kind of progress in our understanding and discourse? Well, what's the point of it? You know, is it just kind of to lament about, you know, the situation? How are we gonna get out of it? Shouldn't that be what is, you know, if like bothering us? You know, we should be. That's what should be agitating our minds, and not just complaining. You know, like a catalog of all the ills that bedevil Nigeria. Who does that help? But anyway, so I mean, I listened to Emeka Banking. You know, and he knows what he's talking about. And some people here have, you know, asked the question, or rather, kind of speculated if he's to get some opportunity, and by that I mean getting, you know, political appointment or having an executive function. What's the use of that? The guy is already doing a lot. You know, he's doing what he knows best. He's an entrepreneur. He's an investor. He's a banker. So and is you know, doing his contribution. What more could you want from him, or what does he need an executive office for? So I don't understand that. Okay, really, what when it comes to if like his understanding of the Nigerian situation and the solution to that, I quite agree with him. I don't understand. Perhaps, you know, Chris is here. He may be able to kind of clarify to me, because I do sense some reservation, you know, on his part about his so yeah, he may be able to, you know, perhaps explain to me why he's not, if like, in full support of Mecca's if like understanding and the prescription, okay, to the problem we have in Nigeria, which to me is really this the you know, the heterogeneity, you know, the cultural heterogeneity. I think having, going back to where we started, you know, how this union was negotiated by our forebears, going back to, you know, to that is at least one way. Okay, when we live in our regions, you know, so this issue of you know, kind of if like the confusion or the you know, having okay, like multiculturalism, you know, people having different divergent worldviews and interests would be, even if not completely eradicated, but at least minimized. Okay, some region, the Southeast, for example, is blessed to have, if like, kind of a homogeneous you know, people, homogeneous you know, entity or culture. So there won't be any question of you know, minority. Well, okay, there may be minority, but at least, you know, the is not, it won't be the, you know, like maybe say in the middle belt or some other regions or zones where you have a lot of if like subgroups. Okay, so that's going back to regions, or at least okay, and restructuring, any way you look at it, you know, so that has to be you know, we can solve this problem. And I don't know the okay, so the question really is, how do we get there? Okay, And that's where election or no election comes in. Okay, so election is coming up in Nigeria, general election next year. I think it makes sense. It's just only 1 year for us to give it another try and see if through the ballot, through this process, we could have. No, you can't just if you are shaking your head. I mean, look, we just have to have some faith and hope and do what we can do. Okay, so if in other words, because one thing can be clear: if Nigerians are given the opportunity to vote, to participate in the process, no, it's not. There's no chance in the world that this government, if this government is gonna win. Okay, so in other words, if they are to win, it means it's rigged. I mean, so clearly, because there's no way a government that has inflicted this amount, this level of pain and deprivation on the people can be voted by the people. It's not possible. So I think we should, if you ask me, because if you don't agree, then perhaps you should have a better alternative. I mean, you can't just all be negative. We have to be constructive. And then what is alternative, right? So at least one way is let's prepare and have another chance on the ballot. And if we elect a visionary, because really what counts in the end is the leader, visionary leadership, the leader who knows what, who is there to serve the people, okay? And serving the people in this case is really serving the country. And when I mean a country, that's it can be. I don't have a kind of a hermetic view of it. It could be different countries or different nations or whatever. In other words, everything has to be on the table, right? So a visionary leader should be able to tell the people, look them in the eyes, be honest with them, and say, look, we found ourselves in this situation. What do? We have to have a kind of a discussion, open, honest discussion about our future, the future of the country. Okay, so that's what a visionary leadership should do, and nothing says that we cannot achieve that visionary leadership through a process, the democratic process. As I said, if Nigerians are allowed, if they can vote, okay, in other words, to choose a leader as people from Abia State did, they're not gonna vote in this APC government. There's no way, and you can agree with me on that.
Okay.
So, and therefore we should give it a go. And if by next year it does not work, if it does not work, then we can then have something else may take its place. Be
All
on course. In other words, see what anywhere we get to that, what is unavoidable is if like a fundamental reconstitution or whatever, if you want, whichever word you want to use for it. But we cannot carry on the way, so it's not sustainable. We all agree on that. So we have to have a kind of some common ground, okay? While we are investigating our options. But I mean, there must be things that we all agree on, okay? So we have the place we're starting off from. So as I said at the beginning, Chris, I'm not sure, I don't understand why you were a bit why you're not convinced or persuaded by his ideas.
Okay. Okay. I need to come in now.
Nigeria and her faith. So
Okay,
if you have the chance, if you can clarify that your reservation, I'll be happy. Thank you.
Please, thank you so much. If you're not speaking, please make sure your mic is off so that you don't interfere with us. Chris, I know that you want to respond, but I'm running out of time. So if you don't mind, just 1 minute, and that's just 1 minute. Because we have one more topic I wanted to discuss, and we're already hitting 2 hours, and we want to end at 3 hours. So, Chris, are you ready to give him 1 minute respond?
Yes. The reason I don't subscribe to this is what I said earlier. He had good leaders. They negotiated for this, but they have different visions. They have different visions, and no country exists with different visions. The vision of Sardauna of Sokoto is to conquer Nigeria, which they have been doing systematically over the years. Now, the vision for Awolowo is for them to sit side by side. You know, everybody should stay on their own. If there is anything, you know, somewhere that needs to be shared, it can be shared. While the other vision for Azikiwe is to have this big united Nigeria, that he can be the prime minister. Now, these conflicting visions, selfishly, they agreed, you know, to put Nigeria together. Now, when Sardauna of Sokoto decided to impose his own vision on Nigeria, because actually the reason why the country fell is because Sardauna decided to impose leadership on the Western, the Yoruba nation, that is the Western region. When he tried, as they are doing today, maybe in many places, especially in Igbo land, they are imposing leaders on them. And because the Yorubas refused to accept that imposition, then they had a breakdown of law and order. And that led to the coup. Okay?
KJ, please,
Now,
time,
to go back to that again means that they still have that president will still have that power to either remove the governor that was elected by the people, you know, he has no right to remove, but because he has the power to do that, then that will also bring breakdown in law and order. So, in other words, what I'm trying to explain to people always is this. People always say minority. That you cannot be a minority in your hometown. Here in UK, you don't refer Scotland as minority. You don't refer Wales as minority. Okay? These are nations of, you know, different nations. Okay. And I have said this and they say it again. Please, the reason why people do not understand the power of ethnicity.
So, okay. All right, Chris. I know you weren't going to have enough time to be able to explain all that.
Yes, that's why I don't have enough time to explain these things. But what I'm trying to explain to people is this simple. You know, Nigeria, you know, Igbos, you know, if we divide, or if we not even divide, because this is an amalgamation. Remember, amalgamation is something that is not amalgam. It's a compound that is not chemically bonded together. In other words, it can be separated. Okay? And the reasons why it was created in the first place wasn't for the good of the people. So I can't see.
I initially said I was going to give you 1 minute, but I've taken up to 3.
Anyway, so I just want to end here. So just, you know, I will have to leave. You know, right. So I hope sometime I will have time to explain this properly for them to understand.
The issue of amalgamation, because you just triggered my fancy right now by saying, you know, it's a compound that cannot be put together. So, and the right word used so far is amalgamation, and I don't know why we are so emotional about what God didn't create. Anyway, let's move ahead, Sha. It's a big issue. Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson, you have listened to the argument so far, and I don't want to, you know, press in your time, but if you indulge me, if you make it faster than the rest people, it will be better, because then we can touch on the issue most people that are on the list are trying to discuss, which is the issue of the image laundering and Nigeria's involving last week. Yes, can you go ahead and make your own input so far, what you have heard and what you think is way forward?
All right, good day, everyone. So basically, based on what you guys discussed today, even though I was not in the I didn't hear that guy speak, basically. But, you know, we're kind of discussing the same thing for weeks, years, and all that, right? So, kind of know what we need to do, but we don't want to really do it. I think that's the sorry state of Nigeria. You know, it wouldn't have been this way. I mean, we had the independence, we had the Civil War, the aftermath of the Civil War, you know, the center is no longer holding the way it's supposed to be. You know, the trust of Nigerians is very, very stone cold, right? It's not bad that even the likes of what they call it, Soludo is begging begging people to join the military, and I kind of laugh because you see Nigerians are not silly, you know. If people are to join the military, there should be a level of equity involved in that, not at the dying minute you just decide, okay, you need to join in, there's an opportunity that everything is good now. Everything is not good now, right? Everything is not good now. And obviously, is that bad that in the guise of Christianity now, another country, America, is looking into dividing the country. I want to touch base on that issue of lobbying. Most Nigerians from the Southeast, they left their country for a better livelihood. Post-Civil War, post the Nigerian states, everything, right? And living their life. Simply because things in Nigeria are not done properly. If all of us here, we discuss with your loved ones back home, they will complain, they will tell you in the face that they don't reward labor. You know how painful that is? That they don't even reward the little that you do. You can be a professional engineer or whatever, they will not reward you. But if you, like Oga Ike said, if you shaky bomb now or do all those usual stuff, you get reward, instant reward. If you are a celebrity and you slap your fans' face, if you treat your fans the way you want, you will get a very good reward. In fact, but your politicians and top businessmen will rather endorse you than endorse people who are highly productive. I know of a scientist who was even among people that was protesting about even getting paid for doing a significant work of doing renewable energy. I don't, and he was among those whom the former vice president actually endorsed in terms of acknowledge his achievements. You see, that's where we are. So when people find themselves in such environment, they go out, and of course, we don't need a soothsayer. We know that most Nigerians are suffering marginalization, but at the same time, it is tailored to us because obviously we have 5 states of which they are trying to resolve it now. And okay, in issue of the presidency, is as though we are appealing. People in Southeast and South are actually appealing because for South to even see presidency, it was like game of chance. It was a stroke of luck. And whether the South like it or not, they should go and thank the late Dora Akunyili. That woman was the woman that made it happen. They should go and thank that woman. And this is the same woman who made NAFDAC what it is today. What it is today. Let that sink in. As in we didn't have those kind of strong institutions, just imagine the kind of drugs that will enter the country and be killing people. It is that bad that I even had to speak with one of the nephews and will tell me how they were threatening her life on a daily basis. That's the kind of country we're in. Okay. Anyway, based on all the political sceneries, people decided, okay, look, we need to have a country around. We all know the Nnamdi Kanu story of today, of which even in prison, his work is speaking for him. Yeah. His work is speaking for him. In prison, his work is speaking for Nnamdi Kanu and other secessionists, right? All we need to do is and then when the federal government now saw that, people have been discussing with EU, America, and other top politicians all over the world, they felt, these people are just lobbying to paint the country bad. But we are living in the realities of the country. We are living in the so-called realities. Is Nigeria really working for us as a people? Okay, we where people are being killed at will, the people that are suffering, they cannot even cry out to the government. They could not cry out. They cry out, they say you want to paint the government bad, you know. And then when the pastor was crying out because he had no help, even the so-called people, he cried out to the international community for help. They called him all manner of bad names. You know, sometimes everything we do, we need to have some level of conscience. You see, we need to have some level of conscience, even though conscience is dead these days. We don't have it on. We don't have conscience anymore, right? So what do you expect? You know, and of course, there's no difference between Tinubu and the current president of Cameroon. There's no difference between both of them. They are both hobnobbing French presidents. Both of them, there's no difference between the two.
All right.
No, I'm not done. So, having said all of this, right, it just tells us that it seems that there is no solution, but the external solution might really help us in this in resolving our current state. So, which is to say, it is becoming unavoidable right now. So, and then I'm going to also give some word of advice as a form of conclusion that the people, I want to make this clear to you for every one of us that are here. Every one of us has a say. Everyone is powerful. Both me, both you. Just the small words that you say has a lot of significance. Whether you believe it or not is your business. It is your own business. But everybody's words have power. We need to say, when you are now saying that, Tinubu, he has the judiciary, he has that. Which judiciary does he have?
Okay, then let's go.
Hold on, it's just people's declaration. It's just people's declaration, and it is over. It is over for them.
Okay,
the power you think they seriously have power, or is it because they have police, army, and everything? Let me tell you something. These people, they don't have it. We are the ones giving them power. They are the only ones that can do everything. Until we understand that we as the people have the power, we're not going to go nowhere. I'll give you a practical, like look at what's happening in Iran, for instance. In Iran, right, with all the oppression they are facing, they are saying no. That enough is enough, that we need to do something different. So that's why even when they off the internet, the people are still pressing to the point that the foreign minister and co, they are afraid. So that's to tell you there's power in your world, there's power in unity of purpose. Until we understand that, we'll keep on complaining and make it look like we cannot be able to do anything different. We should not give, we should continue to give our strength, our power, our
I need to stop
to this because they don't deserve it.
I need to stop you. You have taken much more than
so that's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's move on to forefathers.
Greetings, KJ. Thank you for having me. Greetings to all the panelists.
I'm sorry, before I go, I'm going to leave now. All of you commenting and saying that I'm confused. You are the ones that are more confused because I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Please, let's maintain decorum here, please. Jeffrey.
Please, you don't have to go.
Let's maintain decorum here, please.
Jefferson, you don't have to join issue with them. You have to make a point. If they want to, they have. Hold on.
We have done it a long time ago. We have given our strength. We gave our strength to we have given our strength to these leaders, and that's why we are in the state we are in today.
Jefferson, please allow us to talk. You have taken your own time, please.
Have a nice day,
please.
Okay, here is what I was going to say. If anybody has a better view than you, let him. The link is there. Take on this and come in and tell us how. Why you think it's saying nonsense. You don't have to respond to that. You are here because you are more brave than every other person who is not here. And if they have a better idea, let them come up. We're not afraid to take them on. So Jeff, go ahead, forefathers.
Yeah. Greetings. As I was saying, greetings to all the panelists, the chat, and to the viewers. From You know, for one, the Scottish are a minority in the UK. I am in the UK. I know that they don't have the votes to swing the election. They might sometimes affect the election a little bit, but they don't swing the election, and they vote in the national election. So they are a minority. And so are the Irish and the Welsh too. Even if they are their own nations, in all the ways that matter for them to be a nation, the states in Nigeria have similar powers. I don't know why we say these things. It's like, you know how Nigerians, we speak English, when they watch us, we start using big grammar that even though people don't use, because we like to invent new things, and whether it's real or not, we just invent it, even when it's not needed. It's like we create realities that are not true, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not very impressed with the previous guests, the guests that came on today. And that's why I also said that, when I used to come online before, I said I wanted to just come online and insult all our elders because they put us in this mess. Because their generation after generation, they just created the mess that we are living in. Vulnerable, poor, destitute, all of us travel overseas all the time. People did it. The elders did it. They are the failure. They put us in this situation. And we too are carrying their mess and want to do more for them. And hearing him speak reminds me why I said anybody over 60 should not run for president. I'm beginning to think that even 50. Because there's something about all that is just totally damaged. You can't see it straight. We really can't see straight. 1 minute we'll be saying something this way. The next one it's like contradiction everywhere. There's no consistency. Why is that? We ask ourselves, 1 minute one person will be for sovereignty, the next minute they will be for kidnapping presidents. The next minute you will be for power of the people. Then next minute you will be for a draconian dictator. It's like, why is this inconsistency? It's like, how do we hold all these multiple ideas in one head? And you wonder why the country is in chaos. You want to be consistent, you are consistent. If somebody says it's good for you to have security in your country, and someone like Soludo says it's good for the Southeasterners to join the military, why are you against that?
Okay, Godfather, can I just ask you one question? What don't you agree with what the guest said? If you can just articulate it so that everybody can understand. You cannot just say you don't agree with everything. You don't agree with everything, or you agree with some portion, or what is your
No,
anger?
no, no. I
What the
can't,
guest
disagree with everything. I cannot completely tell
So, what are
save
the
lives.
areas you disagree with?
Okay, let me highlight one of them. He was for sovereignty of the people, but that's the people generally. And then he went on to say it's okay for the Venezuelan leader to be kidnapped from his country. And he forgets, one of the things he didn't even care to check is that whom are the main constituents of that leader? The constituents of that leader are the poorer people of that country. It's like Shore winning election and they come and kidnap him. Shore says it's for the masses, it's for the poor people, they come and kidnap him from Nigeria. And fellow Nigerians are supporting that person. It's like, how do you know? Like, the people that you are supporting are like Tinubu. That's why Tinubu is their friend. But it's so strange the way we analyze things. It's like we invent new realities in our head because of our biases. Because we like Trump and we like the idea he kidnapped people. So we just create new realities. We forget that the people this guy is representing
Godfather,
are
can
the
I ask
poorest
you a
people
question?
in that country.
Can I ask you a question? You live in England, right?
Yes.
I'm expecting. When will you discuss the Muslim takeover of England in this program?
You know, a lot of Muslims don't like me because when I start questioning them on their own attitude too, because I see that
I just asked a question. When will you
I can
come
discuss
to
that if you want to
and
discuss that in a
discuss
different
the
topic.
Muslim
I'm not
takeover?
running.
No, make
Why
it
would
a
I run away
topic.
from that
You
topic?
know why I asked that? Because you are quick to bash in America. You are quick to saying all kinds of things, but you're not even discussing the place where you are living, where the system is already being taken over. Is that not being, being outside and leaving your own house?
You're not depending in America now, so
No, no, no. I'm
you
not.
have
I'm just
changed countries
as
now.
a curious, person. I'm just asking, when will you? So put that in mind. You may not want to discuss it now, but we're looking forward to when you come and discuss what is happening there. I just don't want to
I
go ahead
thought
and answer
nobody is
your.
interested
No,
in.
go ahead and
Please,
continue. I just want to.
let's continue. It's 1 o'clock over here. I want to say my last comment.
UK is not exactly the most interesting place at the moment, but
Okay.
so if you want to discuss it, you can discuss it.
Okay. No, no. I'm just asking you to put it in mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so as I was saying, it's like we invent our own realities. We are too inconsistent. Like when Soludo said that Southeastern people should be joining the military. Yes, it's a good thing. If you want security, you want to have a say in the security forces in that country. As a matter of fact, the most powerful thing the Southeastern people have done since the creation of Nigeria is being able to be everywhere in the country. So why would you tell them not to join the military? Why would you disempower your own people like that? I don't understand the kind of some of the advice they give their own people. Is like, are you trying to impoverish your own people, or so that they don't have power in an influential institution in the nation?
Okay,
They
can I
should
answer that
join the
question?
military.
I don't want to stop you because I want to rush to another topic, but you're
Change
answering
your
very well.
observation. Change your observation.
Please,
Come on.
please.
Hold on now, bros. Hold on. You know why that? Because from history, the Middle Belt people fought the Civil War on behalf of the North. But now the Middle Belt is suffering all the whatever that is going on right now in Nigeria. And they don't have anybody to defend them. So now we already have suffered our own. And now the people who are being massacred in the North, especially the soldiers, are all from the Southeast, majority of them. So do you want us to encourage our own people to still join the army and be sent to Sambisa Forest? That's what the youth. I'm coming. That's why the youth of the eastern Nigeria will not join the army.
You see, this is what I'm saying. We invent our own realities.
No, we don't.
Everything you just said just now is not accurate.
Hold on. If you want me, I can send you a story that was threaded for so long, even went to Brekete family, of a young man who was the only son of his father that was killed, mysteriously, just finishing the NDA. Was one of the best officers there. Okay, and you know of the young lady who was the young 27 years old pilot. The helicopter pilot who was killed in the barracks. Okay, after she had done a great job, she was posted, and the day before she left, she was run down by a friend of hers who said he was reversing to give her a lift. He ran her over, and she died. Till today, there's nothing came out of it. And the second reason that people who investigated found out was that she was decimating the Boko Haram group. She did such a good job that they wanted her out. Okay, these are things that are in the news, and I'm not making them up. Her name is a little Yoruba lady. She was posted out of Kaduna, but the day before she left, she was run down. Nothing came out of it.
I know about the lady. And,
so then what is that not reality that
no, but it's not reality now. It's because the truth is that there are other people too that are falling for this insurgency that is going on in the country. Like an example is the one that happened in South, where military was attacked. If you look at the names that showed up there, many of them were northerners, some of them were southeastern, from different parts of the country. When I went to Kaduna myself, I went to this base. The person I met there was an Igbo man. It's like, why would you be telling your people not to join some of the most powerful institutions in any nation? Why would you do that? You are disempowering your own people. I don't understand why people give people wrong advice. Just because you don't like something, you create realities as if that's going to be better for your people. That's why I say some of our people, our prejudices are so strong that we don't even know when we are damaging our own interests. Why would you do that? It's like you want all the top generals and everything in your country to be northerners now. Then tomorrow you say you are being marginalized. Because remember, you are already Nigerian. You can fight it. You can look at the Kurds. They've been fighting this stuff for decades on end. But they are still scattered all over the place. There are many people in this world. Somalis are scattered among 3 or 4 countries. It's not only you guys that are experiencing this thing. And you have to, as a man, be strong enough to resist the temptation to be this biased. Focus on what is actually going to yield good results. There is nothing wrong with the joining the military. There's nothing wrong with this participating in the state that you are in. You're already Nigerian. It's like me saying I'm not a human being. Hey, I can say that all I want. I can spend all my life fighting it, but I'm still human. That is the reality you are fighting. You are still Nigerian. What you want to do is engage with the country you are in a productive manner to change it. Not because you say, oh, some northerners are super powerful. What kind of power do they have? Look at their places highly developed. All the matrix, if you look at all the matrices, the Southeastern people are doing better. So what are you going on about? They too are suffering, just like you. They are worse even. Have you checked the matrix? Go and check all of them. So what I'm saying is that from what I hear from our elders, they poison a lot of young people. Like if you look at Jefferson now, the way he comes and talks, you would think he was there when Ojukwu signed the agreement that led to war. No, he wasn't there. But they're poisoning the mind of the young ones. The only hope I have for the younger ones is that they can change. The older ones can't change anymore. That is why I think these older ones, they should completely be kept out of policy and don't listen to them. Only listen to history. They are talking about history, but watch out for their biases because their head, something is wrong with their head. I'm telling you, I hear them say that. I'm not even you, KJ, you do it. Like so much inconsistency is crazy. It's
okay,
really crazy.
I'm trying not to join issues with you so that it doesn't look as if I'm.
No, but you just said just now that the people that die in the military are mostly Southern. Jesus, how can we say that? That's not true. It's not accurate.
Forefather, you know, one of the things I try
is
not
it
to.
True? Can we go and find that information and find out whether it is true?
Listen. One of the reasons why I don't want to join issue because you don't even have enough understanding of the Nigerian history. I bet myself to say that to you. And if you doubt me, let us have a day we'll have to have me and you one-on-one on this channel and discuss any issue of Nigeria. Okay? I'm putting it on live. I'm telling you that. Okay?
I would very much like to.
Having said that, let's move on because you're trying to drag on. You see, the thing is this: records are there to show. We're not talking from abstract. The records are there to show. Okay? So, but it's not the reason why we're here today. Let us move to why we're here today. Forefather, don't go away. You're still on this thing. I think Opara has a question.
I just want to say goodbye. I want to do 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ask yourself, the Northerners that have more military officers in Nigerian military, is Northern Nigeria to do safer than other places in Nigeria? So asking Igbo people to enter, to join military, is absurd for me or for many Igbos, because even when you go there, the biases, the discrimination against Igbo officers. Get one Igbo officer and interview him, what they are going through, how they are being stepped down, what they are suffering in the army. Go and listen to what General Onyeka said, even how he got where he was in the military. They will never advise your child to enter Nigerian military. Secondly, you see what is happening in Nigeria. Military officers retired. Nobody cares for them. Their pension is not paid. You saw what happened a few days ago when they were begging for food, and you want somebody to sacrifice his child to enter such institution that doesn't care. Look at how they are killing military officers as we speak. What they call General Musa, nobody knows exactly what happened. It was in Nigeria that the chief of army staff died in air crash. General Buhari was the president. He didn't even attend the burial ceremony. How many should we talk about? And you want somebody, your son, your daughter, to answer such thing? I mean, Soludo has a son. His son is in London. And he's 27 years old. Please let him bring his child. First and foremost, let that child enroll into the military. Then we can start from there. David, what do you call it? David Umai. Same, So why not let their sons join this thing, and others will follow. That is what I want to,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to add to that. That we have even made concession that Soludo's son can bring his bag. We allow him join the army with a bag that he's carrying up, and he doesn't have to leave the bag in London. So we'll give him.
I think that's Soludo's son.
We'll give him the bag. We'll allow the army. In fact, we can pay for the bag to be accompanying him to the army. Okay, let him take Anambra State concession. We'll give it to him. All right, thank you so much.
KJ, can I say something, please?
As you leave, thank you so much. Yes, Tony. You know what? I was trying to introduce a new topic, but like we'll not be able to do it. So you guys just make your comment. Forefather have stayed the nest, so everybody's coming in. All right, go ahead, Tony. I'm coming to you after that, Chris.
Yes. Yes, you know, forefathers once told me that I should be ashamed that my son is serving in the U.S. military. And I just looked at him, I shook my head. Because that's the dumbest statement
That's
any
not what I
human being
said.
on earth can ever.
You're creating your own
That's what you
reality.
said.
That's not what I said.
No, hold on. That's what you said. That's what you told me. You said, yeah, I just looked at you.
Forefather, that is what you said that day. Don't just say that is not what you said. I was here. It is exactly the language that you used.
Don't worry, I'll
Don't
tell
say
what I
that
said.
that is what you said.
We
can go back to play that video.
The most prestigious army in the world. The most prestigious army in the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Ike.
Tony.
Yes.
Thank your son for serving the country I live in. Thank you so much.
Amen.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you, Phil. Let me tell you, my son is an officer in the U.S. military, and he has been to Kuwait. Hold on. He has been to Kuwait. He has been to South Korea. He has been to Japan. He has been to Poland. He has been to Germany on special assignment. I can't tell you what he does for the U.S. Army. He has had over 20 military awards from the U.S. Army. And I'm not just boasting, but he is someone who the military, the U.S. Army, does not want to let go. So when you say that kind of a thing, I just look at you. I don't know if you have a son. I'm proud of my son, and I'm proud that he's doing stuff, for America, and that they appreciate it. Okay, so just as the same way you don't feel proud of being in the UK and working for an Oyibo man. I've never heard you say that you are not proud working for. My son just happened to be in the military. He could have been anywhere else working. But the point that I want to let you know, you have to, I think this is 2026. I think you have to do a soul searching, because there's a reason why nearly everybody is attacking you. I think this 2026, you really need to do a soul searching, because if you continue, we're learning here. That's what this platform is. And if you continue to hold a particular view, and I grant you're entitled to your view, and you continue to hold, even when there's superior argument to defeat your logic, you hold it. I don't think that's someone who doesn't want to learn. It's incorrigible. So the point that I want to make here is very, very clear that nobody in his right senses want to serve the Nigerian. People would like to serve their country, but nobody will want to send his child to go and serve the Nigerian army the way it is now. The way they are treated, the welfare is bad. Even those who really mean well for the country, when they look at, what happens in the military today, nobody. You don't want to send your child to the military, and every day you are wondering whether it's going to come back alive or not. So I think we have to be realistic and say the truth when we see it. And that's the problem that I find with you sometimes. Thank you.
Tony, let me second what you said. Excuse me, KJ. Mazopara has left. For people, encouraging people to go join the Nigerian military. Wike's son is there, but he's busy trying to buy a form for his son to contest for the, House of Rep. What's his name? Ozonna, the son of my governor. We are talking about also the Ebonyi State, the minister for, whatever, what's his name? The guy's name. Umahi also bought a form for his son to contest for, is it the chairmanship?
Chairmanship of the local government.
Okay, fine. None of them will join the military, right? But they want to be in a position where they will loot money because that's exactly what it is, because they're not serving anybody, right? And somebody who has a particular problem, I call it a particular problem, person of concern, will always have a problem with particular tribe on this, forum. Again, if you don't like Igbos, you don't need to talk about them. And again, and that's what I keep saying, let the Igbos go, so that you people will have your country. Because the hatred, I don't even understand why you hate somebody so much, but you still want the person to be part of that country. Let them go. I will not let my child, any of my relations, serve in the Nigerian military. Never. Go and ask them how much they are being paid. Do you know the benefit of serving in this country? Do you know the honor they give the military in this country? Do you know I have friends that I came to this country the time I came, they joined the military, which is something I'm, honestly speaking, I made a mistake. I should have done that. Can you tell Tinubu to send his son to go join the military? Tell Tinubu to go join Sheyi. Tell Sheyi to join the military. All the politicians that you know, Odius Okalo and all of them, tell them to join the Nigerian army. But you can't come here and tell an Igbo person why they will send their son to join the military. Let the Igbos go. The hatred is too much. But you come here again, constantly, every day, talk down on Igbos. Why do you still want to be part of that country? I don't want to. So I'm moving forward. All I want you to do is to start telling your leaders to let the people of Igbos go, so that we can have our own country ourselves. And then if I choose to want to join the Biafra, or any of my family wants to join Biafra, they can. Please stop. You don't have to like particular people, but anytime Igbo people are mentioned, you jump on it. You can never find anything positive to talk about Igbo people.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Ify. And yes.
Okay. KJ,
can I just
speak
say?
now?
Can I just
No,
reply to
hold
this?
on. More
Because
people are talking. Then you go.
I've been able to. Okay, one on this issue of Soludo, it has been trashed easily. People have replied him that, look, Soludo, we love you as our governor. You are coming to advocate and telling us to go to the Nigerian army. Well, fair enough. They're asking Soludo, go and tell them how many Anambra people are in Central Bank of Nigeria quota system, liquefied natural gas, NNPC, Nigerian Post Authority, Immigration Service, Nigerian prisons, and the National Fertilizer Company of Nigeria. Somebody wrote a letter to him, say we are ready. He said, go and make sure that we covered our quotas there before coming to tell us to go and enter Nigerian army. That's one. Secondly, I want somebody to tell me, because they are not telling them, oh, you are not in the army. Why can't they come and tell us you are not in Central Bank? Anambra, your quota is missing in Central Bank. Anambra, your quota is missing in DSS. Do people not know when Buhari was there, 55 people were recruited from Katsina alone, the whole of Southeast. I don't know whether they're up to 4 or 5. DSS, Department of State Security. Why can't they come and say, look, Anambra, you are missing your quota in DSS? Why didn't they say that? They are telling us Nigerian army, take you to Sambisa Forest and then tell a repentant Boko Haram in the Nigerian army to follow you behind and show and finish you off, in the hope that if we don't kill these people, by the time they get their Biafra, they should be able to fight us. Who are they deceiving? You know, when I hear all these things, sometimes I shake my head. I said here, the Englishman said, if you find yourself in a hole, you stop digging. All this wayo they are playing since Amadu Bello time down now, people should be tired of. The generation that are coming now, those born the year 2000, they're about 26 years old. They even know more than me. When we want to discuss Nigeria, when I confront some of them in different social media, they say, look, this is not the night. I can't even believe it. So this is the type of something when all this idea of somebody trying to be more Catholic than the Pope. So suddenly some people now love Anambra more from outside, more than Anambra people love themselves. repentant Boko Haram in the Nigerian army. Who are they waiting for? I mean, all this, these are all trash. We've told
All right.
Soludo, go and tell them in Central Bank, let us fill our quota. When we fill our Anambra quota in all these establishments with DSS and the immigration, then we can now come, we now go to the army. What nonsense is this? I beg, please,
Okay.
somebody should spare me this. And let me correct one impression. Let me correct one impression. This idea that a state in Nigeria enjoy is like equivalent of Scotland or Wales or England. Please, sometimes there are things some people say. You even leave what the person said and start to imagine whether the person is a human being. Scotland has their own bank that issue banknote. Bank of Scotland. Can Akwa Ibom issue its own currency? Can Benue State issue its own currency? Can Kaduna State issue its own currency? Scotland is represented on FIFA board if they want to play football with their own national anthem and flag. Where is the national anthem and flag of Edo State? I mean, people should try and this. You see, sometimes
Okay.
when I see sometimes I don't know whether when I hear certain things. Sometimes I feel ashamed. I don't even want to show my face, but it's
Okay.
because for the benefit of those listening.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a shame.
Thank you, CM. That was how Nigeria was operated before. There was the eastern region, the western region, and the northern region, all had their own embassies abroad and did their own international connections and all the rest. If that was allowed to have moved on, by today Nigeria will not be where it is because there was a healthy competition for those who want to move forward. Everybody was developing at their own pace, but we decided to turn it upside down. We said that we refused what Ojukwu negotiated in Aburi, but we came back and started implementing what Ojukwu negotiated in Aburi in a different way. So we just found out that at the end of the day we are still going back to that same table. We are still looking for that same thing which was negotiated many years ago, which was refused and rebuffed. But you see, it's not enough for us to waste too much time. I'll give you forefather enough time. I'll just like to take a closing remarks because we have run out of time, and that closing remark is just going to be 2 minutes for each person. I'll start from okay.
Let me start now because
Okay, start, Mr. Ike. Sorry, Chris, I'll come to you after that.
No, Chris, stop raising up your hand. You people have been speaking here since morning. Listen.
No, I only spoke once.
Forefathers, you have invited trouble for yourself tonight, but it is part of what it is. I remember the same day, the same week when we are talking about this is when he said about Mr. Tony. I told him also that the last thing I will ever do is to ask my son to join Nigerian military. He told me that I should be ashamed of myself for saying that I would not allow my son to join Nigerian military. He said the same thing. He used the same word. When I told him that the last thing I will ever
we can't hear you. You have mute yourself. You have mute yourself.
Okay, sorry. So what I was trying to say, what he told Tony should be ashamed of himself. That's the same thing he told me when I told him that my son would never ever join Nigerian military. He told me in this platform that I should be ashamed of myself that I said my son cannot join Nigerian military. But I took it with a pinch of salt because forefathers, I don't really know, which planet he came from. But at the end of the day, if he's not married, I wish for him that someday he's going to get married, have kids, and he will understand the value of kids and children, but I wish him all the best. But there are certain words when you use it, you don't really, it might be, everybody has freedom of expression. Everybody has his right to say whatever he wants to say. We can agree, disagree. But there are certain words you don't use, but he used it. And you were consistent in using it. Not only me, to Tony, telling me that I should be ashamed of myself for saying that my son would not join Nigerian military. But it is what it is. The people who those governments you are protecting in Nigeria, none of their children is in the military. They are all trying to be senators, trying to be House of Representatives, trying to be governors. After their father, after their grandfather and father, the children will continue to rule you, and you will continue to defend them online. And that's what you're enjoying, right? And the practical example of what we just said here is that Wike has been going around with his son, introducing him before the people of River State. Tomorrow is going to represent your local area. You continue to praise him. You continue to worship him online, and you continue to say it is good. You cannot tell Wike to go and ask his children to go to Nigerian military, but it is me or Tony. You tell me that I should be ashamed of myself for my children not to go to join Nigerian military. It is well. No problem. It's Nigeria. We're all fighting for a better Nigeria. We want Nigeria to be good. But also, fighting for Nigeria to be good, that is a line. That is a red line that I myself and my family will not cross in order to make Nigeria good, because I never join hand to destroy Nigeria. And I never join hand to to put Nigeria where they are today. So it is well, right? So I hope that we all keep learning every day. Sometimes when we speak, when we talk, we go home, we sit down, we reflect, we look at ourselves in the mirror, and we say, oh, did I really say this? Well, life is all about learning, So I want you to know that you put yourself in this spot tonight, because you're trying to tell us why everybody should be a military man. The governor of Anambra State, who is telling you, like CM said here, and if he is not defending and fighting for the quotas of the people of the Southeast, what we are supposed to get at the federal level that we don't get. But he's telling me, and the son is enjoying in London, the same place where you live, also enjoy your life over there. The son is enjoying life, carrying women handbag and lipstick. I don't know what he is, and so it's better that they will start from there, so that if you see his son in Defense Academy, you understand? Omar, he will send his son in Defense Academy. You understand what I mean? The Speaker of Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives, Ojus Okalo, and the former Senate President, all these people who are claiming that they represent me and KJ, that represent themselves and their cronies and their generation. We should see their children first. And when we see their children in the Nigerian army, then we'll be bold enough to say, okay, listen, I will convince one of my sons, listen, it's time for you to, go and join Nigerian military, because they have shown me that they want their children to join. If you tell the president to bring Isheyu, you will tell Isheyu is old, he cannot join military anymore. It is my son that is young to go to join Nigerian military.
Thank you so much. All right, we need to move on.
I'm crying.
All right, Chris, go ahead, please.
Yes, if KJ, I don't know if one father is still there, because it will be unfair if he asking the question, Scotland is not a minority, or is a minority, and
Chris, your audio is not good. Your audio is not good. So check it. While checking it, let's go to.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, what I was trying to say is that since I haven't seen the forefather is no longer there, but I am not being personal. I don't like personal arguments. I like being.
Yeah, he has not left.
Okay, I like being based on principles. I hate it. I detest the hypocrisy of somebody saying that the white man are imperialists or they are bad, but they are ready to put their life online trying to defend the creation of a white man. So that is what I found very hypocritical. Now, the second thing I want to say is that, if he's listening, Scotland is never, or Wales are never included in ethnic minorities in United Kingdom. These are facts. He can go back and check. The third thing I want him to understand, there's nothing inconsistency in
somebody saying that he believes in the sovereignty belongs to the people, and the action of Donald Trump in Venezuela. The people voted. They didn't vote for that man there. It is well known. So if somebody imposes himself on his people, then he is inviting trouble if the people are asking for another people to a neighbor to come to their rescue. So these are it's based on principles. So that is one, and that's on his side. But what I'm trying to say, the frustration I do have is, is in this kind of platform is it doesn't give you time to interrogate issues properly. Nigeria is an amalgamation. I keep on saying it. Now, an amalgam is something that is not, it's a compound that is not bonded by chemically, right? So in other words, they retain their characters, their characteristics. Okay? So, and that means that they can actually leave that at any point to enter into a different reaction if another compound that they can react to it is in place in that particular situation where they are. So what I'm trying to explain to people about ethnicity is very important. Awolowo understood it. Zik understood it. Sadana of Sokoto understood it.
Okay.
But for their own selfish reasons, they decided to put Nigeria in one and created what we call cross-pollination, which is product contamination instead of hybridization.
Chris, I'm not going to allow you to go forward because we won't have time to explain it. But see, to be fair to Nnamdi Azikiwe and the rest of them, I don't think they are the ones who are responsible for what's happening now. Because remember, the constitution of which they agreed to was altered. And they continuously altered it even to 1979. So it wasn't the original arrangement that these leaders accepted that we are practicing now. Remember, it was because of the military themselves decided to divide the Nigeria into states without the input of the Southeast. Remember, it was
I agree. I understand that. I understand that. Even if what I'm trying to say to you that 1963 Constitution itself has a fault. Okay. It has a fundamental fault in the sense that it allows the person in the center to dictate for the what is it called? The components in such a manner that it will be inimical to the development of those components.
Here's my argument. If we had operated that one, if it has been allowed to continue, by now would have been able to dictate the loopholes and cover them. But now we can't even dictate.
KJ, no. Listen. Remember, if it is allowed, let me explain this to you so that you understand. You are saying that if it is allowed to operate,
they didn't say that Nigeria was indivisible.
That's the same constitution. You are saying if it is allowed to operate, and I'm saying to you that he was operating, but the fundamental flaws that in it made it possible for Sadana of Sokoto to try to impose leadership in the Yoruba land, which they resisted, that led to the led to the breakdown of law and order. In other words, if there was no flaw in that constitution, he would not have the power to impose leadership or try to impose leadership in the West in the first instance.
I agree, but they are still imposing leadership in the south, in the south, even till tomorrow.
Yes,
So that
yes, and that is what is called colonization.
okay. So
Do you
the colonial
understand that?
as forefather will not
So,
like us.
in other words,
They would like us to now
when
have colonialism that by black
you
people too. All
yes,
right.
you
So
have
let's
black
move.
on black colonialism instead of white on white colonialism.
Okay, let's move because we are out of time. Really, who is going
Anyway,
next?
good night. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Good night. This topic cannot be exhausted, so we'll come back to it another day because I still have something to ask for father because he's the, the one who is professing these things all this while. Okay, we have spoken to Tony. Has spoken. Yeah, Oti has spoken. Right, CM has spoken. It's Ife that will give us final touch now before forefather, takes on. If you do have more to say,
I don't have more to say. I'm done.
okay.
Good night,
Thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you
See
so
this
much.
hate, you need to stop. If you can't beat them, you join them. Whether you like it evil to the last, whether you like us or not, we have come to stay. It is a question of time. We will leave. And you know the funniest thing? When we leave, Nigeria will not be the same, whether you like it or not. Look at ordinary Christmas. Lagos went empty just because Igbos went home for Christmas. Hello?
you, you,
Hello?
you, you know
Night,
my
everybody.
you know my
Have a
joy.
great
My joy is that when it is all said and done, you see Calabar, you see the way Calabar is. Calabar will grow in less than 5 years to be one of the destination points in the world. Go and mark it somewhere. The moment
The
they
only
allow
problem
the
I have with my
southeast,
Igbos is Uncle KJ.
Calabar
The only
will
problem
grow.
I have with my Igbo people is that we need to
Yes.
start going home to develop our area. There is nothing
We,
in Lagos. We know that
uh,
without us there will be no Lagos, whether you like it or not.
we agree. All right, forefather, is your time now. And I'm sure I'm waiting for it.
Wow.
So yeah, you
Yeah,
go, sir.
I find it very, very, very refreshing to watch our people so happy to serve other people just like our leaders do, isn't it? This is why I said we can't see straight. We really can't see straight, our people. They are all you notice what they are saying about my son serving in the US military. What I condemned that day was because I was talking about securing Nigeria. He said we'll never let that, but his son is serving in Nigerian military. So I condemned his statement that he would rather his son serve in another country than the country. Not that his son is in the military. That's why I'm condemning him. I'm condemning him for saying instead of him to defend his own homeland, the place that gave his ancestors life, that gave him life, he would rather that person goes and does something else. What is the difference between you and Tinubu? Hold on, please. Let me finish. You've had
Forefather,
your say. You've
my
had your
father
say.
was killed by Nigerian troops. Don't tell me that nonsense. My father served in
Everybody
the
died.
West African Frontier Force that formed the Nigerian army, and the same army killed him. I mean, God, are you? What is wrong with you? What's wrong
See,
with you?
so if say your God forbid, people go
My
our
town was
Nigeria.
massacred. My town was massacred by the police. By the Nigerian army.
Okay,
Go and read the history of genocide in Asaba.
can
And
I
you are
come?
telling me, do you know the pain that you caused me by saying that nonsense? Do you know that?
See,
Sorry.
you are mixing things up. You are trying to
No, no,
mix
no.
things up
Hold
that
on, for
are
I'll
not
give you time
related
to
at
speak.
all.
Hold on. Please be a bit more this thing with your words because see, my father and my uncles, we lost many people. Okay, there are some of my uncles I never knew because of a civil war. So when sometimes you come and say these things, it doesn't go well with people whose parents took part in it, lost everything. My father became poor because of the civil war. Okay, and he never recovered till he went to be with the Lord. So let's not go that way because some of
If
us
that
have
was his reasoning, if that was what he said, I would have seen it differently. But that's not what he said.
no.
He
What
didn't
is
say because
reason?
my parent died in the military, I cannot encourage my
No,
son to go and serve in the military.
It becomes an
That's my
emotional
point.
wound.
It's become emotional. It's not rational behavior.
I
No, no, no,
told
no.
you I would not let my son serve in the Nigerian army. QED. And you just started spotting and saying nonsense. You didn't
No,
ask
we're
me
talking
why.
about defending the
Listen,
country.
okay, forefather, as much as you want to speak, I want you to be free to talk, but please be mindful of what you say. Go ahead.
So my point is that when we do this thing that we do, we are happy to serve foreigners and die for them. What is different between you and Tinubu? Is it that he is making money while he's doing it that you are not? Is that the difference? Because in the
No, the
end,
difference is
all
that he's stealing from the government. He has stolen from the
that's what I
government.
just said.
He's
That's what I
hold
just said.
on, hold on. He's now putting his son up for governorship of Lagos State. His wife
Yes.
has been in the Senate. He himself is the president. He has been governor of Lagos State. Is there any industry that we know in Nigeria that Tinubu set up that made him a billionaire that he is today?
He's serving the foreign interests, just as we that go to the West and be proud of it and fight for them.
No. He's not. If he was serving foreign interests, he wouldn't have forfeited money to the United States government. He forfeited money, and he can't come here. If he comes here now, he go to prison. So what are you saying? Really, serving?
So you don't think he is? You really don't think? Where do you think he goes all the time?
No, listen.
He's going to about to go and get treatment.
No,
let me tell you something. In Ogun State.
Forefather, a McDonald's staff once told a story of his colleague who caught him stealing chicken from and giving his girlfriend, and said to make it a secret that he cannot tell anybody, because if he tells anybody, they will sack him. So whenever he wants to go on break, that guy will call him and say, "Where are you going to?" Say he wants to go on break. Say, no, you can't go on break. I'm taking your break. Remember the chicken. That's what they are doing to him. That is not because he's having he's too dumb to be their agent. It's the chicken that he stole from the service that they are telling him, remember the chicken. So you can't do what you want to do at your own time because you have stolen chicken from the company. And if they report you, you lose your job. So that became a hanging sword over that guy's head until the day he braced up to tell the manager that, look, I stole chicken from here some time ago to give to my girlfriend, and now I want to quit. Thank you so much, and I want to go. The manager said, I didn't even know. You know what? Since you are honest enough to say that, you go ahead and continue to work. Don't do that next time. That is where we need to get to with some of our people. And when we do that, we should collect what they've stolen. We should collect back what they've stolen. 10 Nigerian people can bring Nigerian economy back to where it was. 10. Well, some people are so trillions, and they're still sitting today walking about. The other one is still wants to contest to be a senator, even after stealing all the money from Kogi State. And what are you saying, forefather? This is what we're against.
See, the argument I'm dealing with is about saying that Southeasterners should also participate in the Nigerian security. If you are part of a nation, you don't want to take part in such a pivotal institution, you are committing self-harm. And I don't want to see that. It doesn't help anybody. Like in America now, when you do that, you are honored. Yes, Nigeria, you are not honored. I know about the this in Southwestern lady that I've forgotten her name. I actually made the dedication to her. That perished because even Nigeria didn't barely even mourn her. We don't have heroes. Fine, I know all that. But the reason why we are not having those heroes, we don't honor our institutions, because we have chosen that foreign institutions are the ones to honor. And it's funny because just today, many Africans are accusing North Africa of being racist against us. But what is the difference between us and them? We serve foreigners too. We are always too happy to do that. And then we think we are so different. When I tell people that when I look at some of you, you're not that different from your presidents. You are just the same sample that they take from the root and put it in the center. It's not that different. And why are we surprised when you see people going to the center and start behaving exactly the same way? Even Okada men that were elected in the last election, they go in there and start doing the same thing, and we are surprised. Why are you surprised? Because I am watching them here. That is what I'm seeing. You say you don't want to serve your own people, but you are proud to your family and your children to serve foreigners. You forget that the land you are giving up is a sacred, it's a something sacred that's actually in your blood that gave your ancestors life. And you're giving, what else is there in this world other than some of all these few things? You give it up to say, go and serve foreigners. And this is what we did before. It never got us anywhere. Your leaders are doing the same thing. That's why they are stabbing in the back, left and right. When I was telling you guys that you are thinking that Trump is going to be against Tinubu, that he's not going to be against him. The next thing that he's working with Tinubu, he's giving Tinubu weapons and all the rest of it. It's because they are all the same. They are all serving the same people. They are all working for foreigners. This is what they do. And we too are also repeating the same mistakes. Personally, sooner or later, somebody has to say no. Who is going to serve our own heritage? Who is going to stop selling our own birthright for porridge overseas. We have to sooner or later stop it. This idea that I hate South Eastern, no, you can't even get me to hate. I don't even hate Oyibo people. When I describe Oyibo people here, I'm describing what they are doing to us. Just like when a criminal comes to your house and try to steal, you have to stop them. It's your job to stop them. It's not because a criminal is not going to be criminal. Criminal is going to be criminal.
And forefathers, how do we solve the Nigerian problem? How? In what sentence?
These are some of the ways, and these are some of the ways I was saying. I was saying
concretely,
that
in one sentence,
you should participate. You should put your country
no, we are
first.
participating. It's part of what we're doing here. But in your mind, how concretely?
If you want to see, look at you see that this is security, law and order, and technological revolution. That is our problem. If you fix
what does that mean?
You fix your security, law and order, and engage in technological revolution.
How do you fix the security?
1 or 2 generation. Pardon?
How do you fix the security?
Okay, I think we need to be
I just told you, like Toludo just said, engage, participate in your security, demand security for your country, demand so that your people can go everywhere and feel safe. Our people can't even go out. You know, even the military can even build infrastructure. Military can build infrastructure.
Oti, please don't engage. Let me tell you something for further. You see, if it was,
I'm glad he's asking for solution, because solution is in the end that's what we need, not grievances. Because I have grievances.
Hold on. Excuse me. How is it that it's only you that have this solution? I mean, of all the people that have discussed Nigerian problem, experts and non-experts, including those of us on this panel, and quite genuinely trying to find a solution, a workable solution, right? Because we understand the problem of incongruity. The difference. Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me.
I need to shut down.
You can't avoid
what a day.
Sorry, I enjoy talking to.
Hold on. Excuse me. Today again, we have a new term. Amalgamation, amalgam. In other words, not something, not integral, not uniform, okay, not natural, okay, and it doesn't mean anything to you. All those
failed. It failed woefully.
Above your head, or it doesn't mean anything.
We heard about amalgamation and it failed catastrophically.
Sorry?
It failed catastrophically. We had amalgamation once.
Failed. No.
Failed catastrophically.
Look, what the amalgamation we're talking about is the entity, the corporate existence of this is not, in other words, it's not something that is natural. Okay. So
natural. Nuclear weapon is not natural. Yet we have to deal with nuclear weapons, don't we?
Excuse me.
Okay.
You have to confront the world you live in. Otherwise, we are dead, though. We are dead.
Sorry, excuse me.
You have to confront the world you live in today.
My initial point to you is that of all the you're the only person of all the people that come to this panel, of all the experts in Nigeria talking about the Nigerian problem and the question of restructure and structure, it doesn't mean anything to you. You are the only person that
on this issue. I am right, and maybe I'm not the only person saying
right.
it, but on this platform, on this issue, I am 100% right. No matter what system you go into, it's so right that even if you go into dictatorship, even if you go into democracy, if you go into confederation, if you break up the country, whatever you do, this solution still remains. If you don't do it, your country will fail.
But you have to have a country.
Okay. That is how much I've
on that basis, we need to say goodbye. It's not going to end. There's used to be a music we listen to those days when we are still in the world. It's called "And the Beat Goes On." The beat never stops. It continuously to sound even after the disco is over. So today that will be the concluding part and the closing part of this very heated up argument. For further, thank you for coming in, even though you tried to move us from the topic, but it was good that you introduced this element and people can also hear and other people also bring in their contribution. I appreciate your coming, and thank you, Tony, for being here and sharing your personal story. Those are what we call the personal stories of people. Always enrich the media. When we go out to look for news, we don't look for people who tell us, I hear say. No, we look for people who it happened to, because they have a way of telling their story better than anybody would.
Tony, I'm sorry for your dad passing. I didn't know that. If you had said it in that context, probably I wouldn't have said what I said. That is true. But the context we were discussing was a different matter. But I'm sorry to hear that your dad passed, in such a tragic way.
Yeah. A lot of us lost a lot of loved ones, and sometimes it brings tears to our eyes. And My family never recovered. And tell you how bad it was at the end of the Civil War. My family was one of the first that moved back into the north because of what they had left, but they never were able to recover any of those. And well, let's leave it there. That is history now, and the annals of history will always have that. Thank you so much, CM. Thank you for your wealth of not only knowledge but experience also, and good storytelling. Thank you, OT, for being very, straight to the point. You don't waste time with words. You are the real true story. The Bible says, "Don't waste your time speaking, empty words. You just say what you need, and that's it." Thank you, Mr. Ike. We appreciate you guys. You're always here whenever the door is open, and we appreciate your time and your treasure, because this time will never again be repeated in history. And so it's been spent today discussing the issue of Nigeria. Just in case anybody doesn't think we are contributing, this time of our life have been spent discussing Nigeria, and that is part of our own national contribution. And those of you who are on the keyboard, you are also contributing immensely to what is going on. The discussion will not have meaning if you are not there. So I want to thank all of you who have contributed today, and that will go to Yako. Tope, thank you. One man went to more. We appreciate your contribution to us to be able to run this channel. Oriako Tope again, thank you so much. We appreciate you for also what you are doing for us, not only contributing but also part of those controlling the backstage. Thank you. Thank you, Ifi. Every one of you, they're so numerous, I cannot mention everybody. Bumbu Ray and all that. Tope, Bum Ray, and all the people who have made contributions. So many, I can't call all of you because I've run out of time. God bless you. Really, truly appreciate all of you. We will be here again. And like Forefather have said, we are going to find a day to discuss this issue of image laundering, whether it is good for us or it is not good for us. I have a friend who has made a very useful video that we can use as a point of discussion. But until then, thank you all, and that will be it for today. Every single one of you is appreciated and welcomed. And that's it. We have been able to trash this to a point. Remember that these views canvassed here today are our personal views. We're not here to attack any government or anybody, but we are speaking what the ordinary Nigerian in the street will be speaking. And our own duty here is to bring it to the fore, to the general discussion of other people. And that's what this stands for. And we will still be here next week to discuss again a different topic, because Nigeria now seems like 1 week, one trouble. I don't know how many of you read that book, but that's where we seem to be going. We appreciate you. We appreciate what everybody is doing. Dr. Nnaemeka today, he was able to really give us a blow-to-blow account of what is going on in the agricultural industries in the southeast, for which he's a very good participant. Talking to him was like talking to Professor Chidod Nkanu, who tells you without any fear of contradiction. He doesn't care whether you like to hear it the way he puts it or not. So he just tells you, and that's the truth. And we appreciate such people who make such contribution, especially if they're from the southeast. Remember, I say on this channel, before now, we know they talk. There's a Igbo adage that says that as long as the story is being told by the hunter, he will always be the hero. Until the day you hear from the lions, that's the day the story changes. And so that's why we have come to, as Nigeria is today, the southern eastern people, and indeed the whole of the minority tribe have dared to speak out. And we're here to capture what they will say. Someday, I will bring somebody from the Middle Belt here to tell us also the Middle Belt story, or somebody from the Plateau State, or somebody from Kaduna State, to give us their own version of what is going on in Nigeria and what they think should be the way forward. And until then, I'd like to say thank you very, very much for hanging out with us today. And God be with you all until we meet again. Good night.